I have one of those girls from the casino that gives you a back massage while you're playing blackjack for 5 hours straight. That would
Yeah.
actually be amazing. Just like, Lucy Tight Box comes in here. That's not in the budget this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah, come on. By episode 500.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, cool.
So Cardiff being in the chat, does that mean we should expect to see him? I don't think he was on my last episode. Oh no, he was. That's right.
Well, he wasn't on episode 400. I sent him a link. But he didn't come on. I sent him a link today, so we'll see.
All right.
He didn't say he wasn't, so there's that. When he doesn't, he usually tells me he's not coming on. There's that.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm ready to go. If you're ready to go,
I'll be ready when you're ready.
This. All right, here we go.
Episode 4.
Oh. Are you a boner guy?
Oh, I was a boner guy.
What a dick! You know what? I miss penis.
What are you talking about?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Cuzaroo.
Slapperoonie.
It's showtime.
WATP.
WATP.
Hello, Rubber Dicks and Cuzzaroos. Welcome to another episode of Who Are These Podcasts, the only show that talks to weirdos from different subreddits and treats them with all the respect they deserve. I'm your host, Carl. With me today, a man who probably could name the 1986 Mets starting rotation. It's Christian Bladt. What's happening, Christian?
Well, you got Doc, obviously Ron Darling, and Jesse, some other guys. Great to be back, Carl. Thank you.
Who are these not counting? Our email address, voicemail number, link to our subreddit, link to the Discord server, link to our merchandise, link to our YouTube channel, and link to Patreon and Supercast, featuring 2 exclusive bonus episodes every single month. And you can watch us do the shows live on YouTube every Wednesday and Saturday when we record them, or anytime thereafter. And also, I should point this out, I don't say this enough, when you sign up for our Patreon, you get the entire back catalog, everything we've done. We just released today, easy for you to say, part 13. We're 5 hours into considering John's autobiography. And that's a series worth checking out in and of itself. But there's tons of bonus material on our Patreon and Supercast. And when you sign up, you get the entire back catalog as well as the new stuff that comes out every week or every other week at least. There's always new things going on, and you can watch us do this live. Also, we encourage our listeners to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you review podcasts, and then shit all over us in the comment section so it's fun to read when the review girls come on and read the reviews. Hannah will be on later today, which is not something I should ever guarantee. But first, we'll be reviewing a show called Hey Riddle. This was a suggestion from Christian. We have both listened separately. We have not discussed it with each other beforehand. Let's get into it. It's a show hosted by Adil Rafi, John Patrick Cohn, also known as JPC, and Aaron Keefe. And this show has been on for about 4.5 years now. Before we get into it, I feel like this is an important thing to say. If you haven't heard of Hey Riddle, and I hadn't, they have 6,768 patrons on Patreon. Now, they do have a $1 tier level. So I don't know how much money they're actually making. They don't show you that. But on their Patreon, it says like Carl is creating podcasts. It'll tell you why you would support a Patreon. Theirs is, Hey Riddle is creating riddies and puzzies, which all I can think of is Florentine when I hear riddies and puzzies. We're getting a little cute. Getting a little too cute here, fellas. Not good. Not a good sign. Now, Christian, you have a lot more clips than I do. And in fact,
I was able to weed out some of them.
Episodes.
Oh, okay.
I listened to like 3 different episodes, and I was like pulling clips, and I there's a lot to clip here. There's a lot to talk about, obviously.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, I got to a certain number, and I went, you know what? I should look at Christian's email and see where he's at. Oh, I better stop right now.
Yeah.
I got to stop clipping stuff right now.
Yeah, I had 50 clips, and I'd stand by 40 of them at this point. And
Okay.
I think the most important thing is you mentioned the 3 hosts. The description of the show from Apple Podcasts says 3 of Chicago's most overrated improvisers. And then it talks about how they have, all the puzzles and the riddles and everything. And the puzzies and riddies. I forgot that we're trying to save time here with the abbreviations. And this is a fairly big podcast. They do we're having fun, and they do a lot of live shows, and and they seem to have fun. But I didn't really have fun, and as we go through it, it's a really hard show to clip in one way, in that I tried to not have my clips be too long, but some of them are. But the episode I listened to starts on an immediate wrong foot. And I guess they're trying to just be wacky and let you know, like, crazy stuff happens behind the scenes, because, anything can happen, and usually does. So clip 1, instantly, I already disliked these people.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Well.
Miss Sneeze.
What
Miss
do we
Sneeze
have?
No.
I mean, I could see starting my show that way, but I don't know. It's like it's recorded. It's not live. They didn't have to start with a sneeze, so I'm already annoyed instantly. And then they go into shtick, and I don't know about the episodes you listen to, but they have the worst kind of shtick, improvised shtick, and they set a little scene, and you kind of get the feeling that Erin, one of the co-hosts, like 20 seconds in, she's like, oh, I don't think I bargained for this. So play my clip number 2, please.
Hey, Adel. Thanks so much for coming to meet with me.
Is this my performance review?
In a way,
Okay.
it's always ongoing.
I brought you a cake. Here you go.
Oh, thank you so much.
I didn't have time to frost it or bake it. It's just a
Noted.
bowl of mix.
Oh, goodness.
Everything.
Yeah. So that, oh goodness, is, thanks for giving me nothing to work with in this scene here. It's like, I got a cake. Actually, I didn't make it. Here's a bowl of ingredients. To get to my, yeah. Oh no. I mean, already, I can't believe that producer Chris isn't with us today, because his laughter would probably be drowning out everything you and I say throughout the course of this.
Oh, he loves improv comedy. I know. I should mention producer Chris called in sick today. He's got allergies. The weather finally warmed up, and I guess Chris is allergic to summertime. So producer Chris will not be here with us today, unfortunately.
Either that, or he's allergic to working when the weather's nice outside. One or the other.
That's possible. Yeah, maybe he's just like, I'd rather be outside than in Carol's basement.
Yeah, what do I want to hang out with Carl for in the basement?
Me and him both.
So let me ask you a question before we get to my next clip. Do you think you'd be able to name an impressionist? Anybody who does a good impression? Does anybody come to mind for you?
Dana Carvey, obviously.
That's a good one. Do you think you could come up with a second one kind of quick?
Yeah, I think Rich Little obviously is a big one.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, so you
Frank
did better than
Caliendo.
the hosts. You did much better than the hosts. You already come up with 3. So let's go with clip 3 and see how they do when the topic of impressionists comes up.
You know how we talked about replacing JPC as a host?
Oh, phew, yes.
Well, I'm bringing someone a new guy in today.
Oh.
He has one little quirk in that his voice changes unexpectedly to these like crazy voices all the time.
It's like an impressionist. It's like Rich Little or Rich Little or
So it's like Rich Little or Rich Little. And who's that Rich Little guy? Oh yeah, Rich Little. So
I mean, I felt bad even saying Rich Little, because that is like the oldest name I can think of, probably.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a guy who kind of carved out his career for that. But there's plenty of guys. You could name 3 guys who are on SNL right now, and then you'd have more than they came up with.
Wouldn't be difficult to do.
Yeah.
So I want to play some clips from something I was checking out.
Please.
They recently put out a Patreon promotional episode. It's like 10 minutes long, and it's just to give you a feel of like what the Patreon bonus shows are like, so that you'll subscribe to it. So I thought, well, must be their good stuff. If they're putting it behind the paywall, people have to pay for it. So this is how this one starts off. And this is Adel, who's introducing this idea he has for a show format.
JPC, Aaron, come on down. I have the perfect idea for a Patreon episode. This, of course, is going to be about 50 minutes or so, and it's a pretty loose concept. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Great.
This is a little something I came up with last night, and I call it Epic Rap Battles of History.
What?
Epic Rap Battles of History. So I'm going to give you both like a historical figure, and then you're just going to improvise
can I ask a question?
Like 5-minute raps.
Can I ask a question? Well, you said you came up with this last night. What were you up to last night? Like, what was going on last night?
I got drunk. I was laying in bed, just kind of scrolling through YouTube, like YouTube from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So first off, the lip smacking is driving me fucking insane. These people have been podcasting for 4.5 years, and they don't know to stop the lip smacking. It's over the top obnoxious. So here's the premise here, and it's a great one. He has this idea to do epic rap battles of history, which is funny because someone's already done that idea. That's not an original thought. That's already been done. How'd you go up with that? I was watching YouTube. That's where you find that. Pretty good stuff, guys. There's forced conversation. It starts off where he goes, "Hey guys, I got an idea." They're like, "Huh? What? What is it?" It's like a children's show. And I have a number of examples to show that it is a children's show. But all right. So now Aaron doesn't like that idea because it's already been taken.
Yeah.
So she's going to call an audible. And I don't know if you like with your buddies when you guys are hanging out, talking like a chicken, or maybe like just you and your wife, you know, you put the kids to bed, you just start talking like a chicken, it just cracks you up. I know that for me and my bros, we can't stop.
I actually would rather do something else if that's okay.
I can
Aaron,
wrap the whole
you had it.
Let me warm up. A loose moose goosed my caboose. A loose moose goosed my caboose.
Oh, Hugh Hefner? You're rapping as Hugh Hefner?
Well, my name is Abraham Lincoln, and I'm here to say I hope I don't... Ow, my hair!
No.
My hair?
My hair?
Those were Lincoln's last words.
Don't you think he would have thought that maybe his hair got hurt real bad?
My hair.
All right, I'm calling an audible here, and I'm going to take charge of this episode. We're going to do my thing today, motherfucker. And it's...
Hold on. Did you just say, I'm going to have the cacciatore?
It's a Friday, so let us be chickens, okay? Do you guys want to do this, or do you want to
This is
go out to
unlistenable.
lunch?
I don't know. Is that going to get funny at some point? I'm not sure. Maybe they just keep doing it.
Yeah, well, no, the longer you do it, the funnier it gets. I think.
It's not obnoxious or annoying or childish at all. I wrote a note for myself after this clip right here, and it's funny because I think you already said this. I don't think I'd be friends with any of these people.
No.
I don't think I'd want to hang out with them for a second. They seem really obnoxious and full of themselves. And they're not funny or interesting like they think they are. And I'll give you an example here because for some reason, this makes Aaron laugh. And I do not know why.
You're not allowed to talk about that charity legally. We all know that.
Oh, did I say charity?
And I have...
Yeah, but it's
course,
spelled chair, CHAIR dash ITY.
You get it? So it's not a charity, it's a chair.
No, it's a chair,
Which doesn't make any sense. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, the clips you've played have shown kind of the same thing that I picked up on is that Erin, I don't know how much she brings to the table, but she laughs at pretty much everything. So I can see what they like about having her around for. You know, I mean, she everything kills her. You know, it's she's laughing at all this stuff that I'm having trouble just listening to.
If I was in the studio for Opie and Anthony with Bill Burr and Colin Quinn, I wouldn't be laughing as much as Aaron does with these two retards who have no idea what comedy is. So this show, they decided to do dad jokes, but they're not just going to tell dad jokes. Aaron's going to give you the setup, and then you have to guess what the punchline is. All right, I'll play this for you. She's going to explain the rules to this.
Well, what we're going to do in this episode is I'm going to read you the first half, or like the premise, the setup of a dad joke, and then you're going to fill in the blank, and whoever gets it right gets a point. And then also people can
Everybody
call for
wins here.
scenes anytime they want if they feel inspired. Okay.
I don't even care if I get the most right. I think everyone wins in this game.
And just to kind of marry the two concepts, Aaron, it was that we all have a bunch of kids and that we love puns, and we might just shorten that to just saying we have a pun in the oven.
1 point to JPC.
Wow, good stuff. All right, so you're following this premise, right?
Yeah.
You ready to play along? All right, here we go. Here
Yeah.
is the first dad joke, and they got to figure out what the punchline is. Now, what you're going to hear here, and I've been criticized for explaining what the clip is going to be before I play it, but I can't help myself on this one. Because what you're going to hear are two guys who don't know how comedy works, trying to figure out what a punchline would be for a really shitty bad joke.
What did the horse say after it tripped?
I'm sorry, horse?
On my neck.
I'm suing this store. What did the horse say after it tripped? Nay. What a romp in the nay. Okay,
I feel like a dad would go with something about a glue factory. They would be like, well, next stop the glue factory or something like that.
Aaron, is it who closed this gate? But gate is spelled G-A-I-T?
No.
Okay.
Great. Well, you're just warming up. You're just warming up.
I'm just warming up.
Have a nice trip. See you next farm.
Yes. Don't kill me and turn me into glue. Oh, the glue's on the other foot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not a glue joke here.
What is this garbage? How do they have a podcast? This is bullshit.
This is what I'm confused about. This is their Patreon episode. They're like, guys, if you want to listen to this episode, $5 a month, you can hear amazing content like this. First off, nobody wants to listen to shitty dad jokes because those suck. So if it was just like, here's our favorite shitty dad jokes, I'm like, well, I'm out. But then to have these guys try to figure out what the punchline is and not even get close. Not even get close to something that would be a punchline for this setup that's so far off.
I think I was realizing as they were going what the bad thing is about how I just a moment ago said Aaron laughs at everything. Well, when she doesn't laugh, you know you're not even close.
Isn't that
you're
funny?
So far off.
That's brutal. I was thinking about that when the guy goes, hey, it's like we have a pun in the oven. And she goes, okay. That's not a good response from Aaron. She's a giggle puss. She usually laughs at everything. All right, are you ready? I know you want to know what the actual punchline is for this dad joke.
I'm so excited to find out.
I know. Don't worry. I feel like I just did the shave and a haircut thing, and people are like, what is it? Let's go. 2 bits. Let's go. All right, you got it.
Saddle be the day.
And none of these work.
Okay.
No.
Maine, something with Maine.
Okay.
Mayor. Mayor.
Oh, this is
What
my
a nightmare.
Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
You might as well ask a horse to fix a merry-go-round. I mean, he'll try his best, but mostly he's just going to get horrified.
So the punchline is just as bad as what anyone would make up.
Yeah.
And they have to guess that?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So, a commercial from 1991 that was definitely a catchphrase that calendar year. And there you go. That's the punchline there. Well,
what did the horse say when he tripped? And the closest one of those guys came to some type of punchline was like, it was a nightmare. Like,
yeah. I mean,
right.
like at least the words made sense.
At least it kind of makes sense. I mean, the tripping part doesn't really fit in, but okay.
Well, Carl, they've got my $5 for next month.
You want to hear the rest of this? I have one more clip from this, and then we can move on to your stuff. So this is another joke that you can only get if you donate money to their Patreon.
Why did I stop being friends? Why did I stop being friends with the mosquito?
Why?
Because he was inside Amber.
I love it.
Amber being my wife.
And Amber's your wife.
Yeah, you need to know that Amber is your wife for that premise to work, I guess.
I have a joke that I want to tell you guys. That just before I tell you the joke, I do have to tell you my wife's name is Amber. Okay. Why did the mosquito...
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, riddles, clue crew.
Hey, if you like that, you are going to love the rest of the episode. Listen now at patreon.com/HeyRiddleRiddle.
I didn't like that.
No,
I didn't.
No.
That's a bad advertisement.
I have to come clean, Carl. I was pretending a few minutes ago that I enjoyed what I was hearing, but I can't even pretend after.
No,
that.
it's hard to pretend. This is like doing an ad for shoes and showing the guy taking his shoes off. He's got blisters, and you're like, "Hey, if you like blisters, we got some shoes for you?" Like what I just heard, those 10 minutes I had to listen to, was torturous.
Yeah,
I felt like I was waterboarded, and you want me to pay for this and hear the rest of it? By the way, I want to replay that joke again because I do not understand it. So the guy's wife's name is Amber. Now we know that. Okay, let's listen to that again, and you tell me how this makes any fucking sense, because I'm confused. And maybe I'm the idiot.
Why did I stop being friends? Why did I stop being friends with the mosquito?
Why?
Because he was inside Amber.
What does that mean?
So I believe that in this theory, the mosquito fucked his wife, whose name is Amber.
Well, mosquitoes, when they're inside someone, they're not fucking them.
Right. Look,
Okay.
you're bringing too much logic to this conversation. But the
Why
joke
is he
was
friends with the mosquito in the first place? So wait, you're telling me that his mosquito friend fucked his wife, and that's why he's upset with the mosquito?
Yeah, all the mosquito bites that he had received over the years from his mosquito friend. There was no concern there, but I had to draw the line when you actually were inside Amber.
Christian, I need a break, please.
Oh,
Take
you're not going to
over.
get the kind of break you want, because
Take over, please.
we now have to reset to the little scene that started the episode I listened to. And you remember, they told us that there was going to be some new guy coming in, and they were trying to replace JPC. So I just assume we're all ready to meet this third character in this little sketch. And on top of not being that funny, there's a technical decision made during this clip that, it really just makes it confusing. So play my clip 4, please.
Hey, am I early?
Yes. Come on in.
I'm so sorry if I'm early. I brought everybody cupcakes.
Great. Help yourself to some of this uncooked cake if you want it.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I came late. I didn't have time totally to cook it, but they are cup-sized.
So the other guy does the echo effect on his voice now.
Yeah.
So the other guy is the first guy, and I couldn't tell them apart, in all honesty. So the guy who comes in with the squeaky voice, he's the one who's supposed to have the vocal effect. But I had to re-listen to it. I'm like, well, why does the other guy have a voice effect? I don't want to come up with an answer. I don't think we need to answer it, but it was just like, what's with that choice? It's like, whenever we do talk about improv, like rule number 1, always affirm, make the scene possible for everybody to, but it's like these 3 are set out to make things as difficult as possible for them to continue in the scene, which I think really translates into a positive experience for the listener. I mean, you're enjoying this, right, Carl?
Well, this is the whole thing about improv, because I've seen a lot of bad amateur improv, and I've listened to a lot too because of the job that I have reviewing podcasts.
Sure.
And it's insane to me that these people want to continue to work together, because if I had an experience like this one time, I'd be like, well, I'm not doing a show with that asshole anymore. She sucks. Now you can tell which asshole I'm talking about. But it's like, there's nothing funny about these people. So why are they trying this? And again, 6,768 people giving them money on Patreon. There is, and I believe this is generational, and I could be wrong about this, but Christian, we grew up when jokes were jokes. You could say whatever the fuck you wanted, and you didn't have to like it. You could be offended, and too bad if you were, and if you liked it, it was funny. These people are so soft and so safe. This is like the future of comedy, where it's not funny at all, but they sure do laugh a lot. They sure are smiling a lot. So there's that.
Yeah. No, look, if you laugh loud enough at your own jokes, it doesn't matter that the audience isn't reacting in any way.
Is that true?
Yeah. That's the new rules of comedy.
I like Itchy the Wrecker here says, improv rule number 1, stop doing it, go home. It's pretty good.
He's
pretty good rule.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
So for my clip number 5, we get all the characters finally interacting. I know this is what we were waiting for. And in this clip, the whole gang showcases that, you don't really need to have jokes if you have low rent vocal effects and 245 episodes worth of characters to call back on. So let's listen.
Are we
to
talking
clip
about
5.
Shuli's show now, or are we talking about? Oh, my bad. All right.
Be polite, Adel. Don't call it out.
I mean, there's just a lot going on. That last one. Oh,
You're Adel. Oh my God, I'm a huge Magic Tavern fan. It's so nice to meet you.
Enchanté. It is always a pleasure to meet a fan. Do you want to give me an autograph your forehead or something? Or
yeah, if you wouldn't mind throwing a quick autograph on my forehead, I'd love that.
Wait a minute, Aaron. He's stealing Puzzbot. That's basically Puzzbot. Listen.
I mean, there can be 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think there could definitely be 2 Puzzbots if it's a big deal. I mean, look, I'm excited to work on the show in any capacity, whether if I'm Puzzbot or not, I could do it.
All right, I've just decided something. I'm not even mad at them. I'm not even mad at them. Like, this is what they're doing. They're putting it on the internet. I'm mad at 6,768 people who've decided they want to give these assholes money to do this. And I want to slap them each individually. I don't know what kind of prison time I'm going to do for that, but I think it's worth it.
Well, and look, I'm with you. I'll go for the sloppy seconds on slapping these people around. But look, these are people that they're listening at home, maybe on their commute. They need something that keeps them entertained. But then what about the people who spend their hard-earned money, go out to a theater and watch them do this live? So it's like, I don't need to just have this at home when it's for free, or pay $5 a month for the Patreon. I want to go see it with a bunch of other people, and we can share in the experience together. And I would assume they spend a lot more than they do on the Patreon. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that need to be slapped in the Hey Riddle army.
So they bring on this most recent episode I was checking out, Hollywood Hot Takes, and they have a guest on there, Michael Hitchcock, who you probably would know if you saw him. Been in a lot of like Christopher Guest movies and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so Michael Hitchcock is on here, and they're talking to him about how there's no phones allowed in the studio. And this turns into some hilarious riffing, as everything does.
But we have a no cell phones policy in the studio, except me.
Except JPC.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be texting people.
Yeah, he's playing Candy Crush. I can see it very clearly on his phone.
No.
I'm getting really good at it.
That's not right. I'm on Tinder. Swipe right, swipe right, swipe right, swipe right.
Wow.
I would love nothing more than to invite you to the studio. You're just on Tinder the entire time.
And somebody please love me. Just one. Just one. I have very low standards these days. It doesn't even matter if they drive anymore.
Fucking thing sucks. What does that mean? All right, so Michael Hitchcock's in his 60s. I guess he's trying to poke fun of himself and he has low standards. Doesn't matter if they can drive or not. Is that like an LA? Maybe that's an LA thing. Where it's like, oh yeah, right. Like I would date someone who can't drive. Okay. Good one.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I've lived in LA for 20 years, and I don't think I've ever had that conversation with anyone, but sure.
That was funny. All right, so then JPC goes on to tell a real story about how he used Tinder to promote his improv shows. Because he said, like, I was on Tinder, and then I had a steady girlfriend, but I kept my Tinder profile just to promote these improv shows. And he says, it's a perfect first date. Like, that's the way he was promoting it. Like, you're on Tinder, you're probably going to go out on a date or two, take it to this improv show. And I can't think of a worse first date than to take someone you don't know to a super awkward improv show that's going to make both of your skin crawl. And Michael, I think, agrees with me on this.
I don't know. I don't know if I would ever get a date after doing improv or sketch, because you're either dressed like Colonel Sanders or,
and that's for improv.
That's for improv, because I have all my wigs and things. Yeah, no, and then, or you're like a talking frog or something. Like, you're like, oh, no thanks.
Yes, it's embarrassing. Thank you. I totally agree with you. Being in an improv troupe is like swearing off pussy for the rest of your life. I don't need that. That's fine. Moving on. It's not good.
Yeah, remember the last time I was on, I had to confess that I was in an improv comedy group in college. And
all right, so Christian's now off the show, but look at it, still be here. No, I'm kidding.
No, I didn't realize I was swearing off pussy at the time, but I did. I didn't realize it. So
you didn't read all the fine print of that contract, did you?
They didn't mention that at the auditions. It looked like fun.
Yeah, it's like the timeshare. They don't talk about how there's limited flights to that destination. They never bring that up. Well, you can only fly on a Tuesday. You can only leave on a Wednesday. But other than that, it's great. You'll love it here.
Yeah, and here's your annual bill for the maintenance. And the maintenance for being in an improv comedy group is just copious amounts of masturbation.
Well, the good news is porn's free now. So
now, not in 1995, it wasn't.
Not that it wasn't. Damn it. So wait, it pays nothing, and I won't get laid. All right.
Yeah,
I'll sign it. Will it be funnier? No.
No,
just the opposite.
No. It was definitely the opposite. Yeah, exactly. Well, do you remember Howard Dean ran for president about 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you remember that because that yell is just as funny now as it was 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Well, somebody seems to think so, and that'll be part of what my clip 10, which contains a parade of nonsensical sound effects over 52 seconds. And I have to explain, this is not the clip I sent to you for the teaser for episode 400. That was a different 50-second clip of just a bunch of nonsensical sound effects. But let's enjoy clip 10 together.
Oh, baby Howard Dean, thank you so much.
And I will never, ever replace Casey. There's no way to replace Casey.
Here's what I think we need. I think
that's our clown.
Benny Hill. I think every episode we need to do a Howard Dean scream through a different filter.
Yeah, I believe so.
Just so we can cover the gamut of all the possible Dean screams out there. The Dean scream of
Okay.
You were saying? Wait, I guess I have a soundboard as well.
Well, I think we've just turned into a morning zoo crew.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's just get into riddles. I guess no one has any bullshit they want to talk about, so
well, I did, but in the middle of talking, I was honked and farted.
Adel, I'm trying to save you.
We have a good time here. Adel.
I don't know, Christian. I think this is hilarious shit.
Yeah. No.
These guys are really funny.
It's funny because they mention, we've turned into a morning zoo, as if every morning zoo across the country wasn't more entertaining than what we've been listening to.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Rather hear weenie in the butt.
Yeah. So if you're like me, you already hated these people, but maybe you're just not quite sure why. And if anybody in the audience needs to be convinced, I think my clip 13 will put them over the top. They spend way too much time talking about a chain. They're all in Chicago. So they were talking about a hot dog and hamburger chain called Portillo's, which I'm honestly a huge fan of, but they spend a long time talking about it. But in clip 13, I think it'll tell you everything you need to know about why we don't like these people.
Portillo's also, I didn't know this, but they have like vegan Chicago dogs. And so I had a vegan Chicago dog, and it was, you know what? I think it was vegan. It was vegetarian at least.
So, I think that if you make the decision to be vegan, you're not going to have hot dogs anymore because it's,
you don't want hot dogs. That's not what you're looking for. I never understood that thing where it's like, well, I'm vegan and vegetarian, but I would love a cheeseburger and a hot dog. It's not going to be good. That's not. No. That wasn't the point of hot dogs.
Yeah, you're going. Yeah, the point of hot dogs is that there's a meat-like smell and little particulates of some possible beef and a bunch of mystery meat. But you're going to have like some soy dog and I don't know. I mean, I guess when you have all those tomatoes and relish like Chicago dog, maybe just have that on a bun. But so. I don't know. I guess I was convinced that, okay, I don't like them. But then you kind of start to wonder, like, do they actually like each other? Because there's a story that comes up. They talk about in a planetarium. And the story that we get is a little bit less than scintillating. And you would think some podcasts would, I don't know, maybe cut it out or maybe not have the conversation. But not Hey Riddle. They've got themselves a new soundboard, so they're going to really try to get a lot out of this. This is my clip 18.
I think I've told you guys the ice story.
I don't know.
No.
An ex of mine used to work at Adler and did tours, and at the end of the tour, they hold this giant chunk of ice, and they're like, this is from space. This is like space ice. If you want to touch this like broke off of the moon or whatever it is, Jupiter.
Sure.
So, don't end the show. So it's like a giant, it's like shaped chunk of ice, and the kid would touch it, and then the adults would be like, oh, that's fun. And then the kids would walk away, and almost 85% of the time, the parents would linger after and go, is that really from space?
Look, that had nothing to do with your story.
Yes, it did. JPC,
they're gonna take the soundboard away from me. I can't be here with this.
I gotta say, from everything I heard, it sounded like they were all in love with each other. So I am a little bit glad to hear that they're shitting on each other a little bit because that's all I.
Yeah, there's a little bit more of that. I think Aaron barely tolerates them a little bit later. But look,
This is
he doesn't tell a good.
I wish they had this on their soundboard.
Fuck you!
What is this garbage? How do they have a podcast? This is bullshit.
Lick, lick, lick my balls. Yeah.
I just realized I have a lot of mean things on my soundboard.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. I cut you off.
No, it's fine because the idea is clearly, look, it's not a very interesting story, but they don't actually even give him a chance. It's like, so the one guy starts playing the theme like they're going to go to break, and he's like, all right, well, I'm telling the story, let's go. And then the toilet flush, and I don't know. I mean, I guess them making fun of each other is kind of fun, but I think they're starting to realize like, oh, the soundboard might not actually be helping the show.
No.
My clip number 19 is from the 12-minute mark of the show. 12 minutes in.
Okay.
And when your show is called Hey Riddle Riddle, it might not be the time to ask this question. Clip 19.
Well, do we want to get into riddles? We don't have to.
I guess so.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing too, is they're obviously very proud of themselves for being like improv theater nerds.
Yeah.
And so they love this idea. They're like, hey guys, we can just wing it and just have hilarious conversations about cake batter. And I think that'll probably fly, right? Well, I don't know. Or we could do a riddle.
Yeah.
I heard very little riddling when I didn't hear a lot of riddies.
Oh, well, there were riddies and puzzies throughout the course of this episode. Okay. In fact, we are now entering at the 12-minute mark of this 1 hour and 4 minute episode. We're entering the riddle zone, and the book they're using was sent in by someone named Molly, which becomes important at some point. And we know that it was sent in by somebody named Molly because they have a theme song for it. And I think after you hear this theme song, everyone who complained about the themes that you use on Who Are These Socials should write you a very apologetic email. Play clip 20, please.
Who's complaining about the Who Are These Socials theme? What the?
I love the YouTube one myself. I love that one.
So let's play that Molly's Riddle Book theme.
It's time for Molly's Riddle Books.
All right. The self-esteem movement has gone too far in this country.
Yeah.
These people have way too much self-confidence. They think they're good at everything. That was terrible.
Look, this is the problem when your parents tell you that they love you. Okay.
Yes.
So
stop it with that.
Yeah.
You got to make your kids earn it every day. You got to treat them like
I'm a comb salesman.
You're always good as yesterday.
You and I have both been critical of Howard Stern and the way that he always talks about like, yeah, but wasn't your mother mean to you, like to Reggie Jackson or his own mother? But you know what? There's something to be said for the way that Howard Stern's mother treated him. He never would have become the king of all media if his mother had loved him even a little bit.
No shit. Howard Stern is like a billionaire. Reggie Jackson is one of the greatest baseball players ever played. They're like, yeah, but weren't your parents mean? Good. That's good. Obviously. That's what works. Because this new generation is soft and they're dumb. And they're really fucking annoying. So I want to play. This is a character they have. They have characters on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And this is Gloof the Mouse shows up. And this is my proof that this is for children. This is by children for children.
Hey, JPC. I don't think we've ever talked just us before.
Yeah, I hate it. I actually don't really want to talk just us.
Let's just cut to the guest. Guest, we need a third.
Yeah,
Should
Michael?
I co-host?
No, we don't need you, Gloof.
Come on, give me a chance.
Gloof, get out of here.
You can't just introduce Gloof in an episode where we have to say bye to him right away. Come on.
Hey, everybody, it's Gloof in the house. Hey, everybody, everybody's favorite mouse. It's Gloof the mouse. Honk and honk.
To make Gloof the Mouse
and
merch.
tonky tonk.
Michael, I'm so sorry about Gloof. I'm so sorry. Gloof is leaving, Michael. So you're staying. Gloof is leaving.
Goodbye.
This is why I don't like kids. This specifically. Because I won't put up with this shit. You know, at Thanksgiving, I'm like, don't talk to me anymore. I know you're my nephew. I don't care. Don't talk to me anymore. Yeah. You're a weirdo. Grow up.
Look, if as some people know, I have a 7-year-old son and a 5-year-old daughter, and if they
don't
came
talk about
to
his kids, everyone.
If they came to the dinner table with some of this Gloof the Mouse horseshit, they'd be sleeping out in the backyard that night, and hopefully they would get some of the tough love they need.
And you know what? They would grow up to be successful because of that. They'd be bitching about you, but so what? Who cares? That's the job that you have to do. Yeah, our code is like, kids don't even talk like that. I know. Kids aren't even this fucking dorky and lame. All right, so you mentioned that they live in Chicago. So in the episode I was listening to, the most recent one, they're out in L.A., and they're at some studio in L.A. recording this episode. But I guess the main guy got COVID.
Yeah, because I was there in the studio with you guys. I tested for COVID, tested positive, immediately left and flew home to Chicago. But it was what Michael Hitchcock said to me. He said, "You have COVID?" And I was it felt so unprofessional that he said that to me. It felt so rude. And I didn't want to I just kind of smiled and went, and walked away because I had to.
He was speaking truth to power, though.
Yeah, but I was
because what you had said to him was, "I have COVID."
Well, yeah, but it's the way he said it back.
It's the way he said it back.
Like he was trying to understand or be empathetic. And I said, no,
isn't that funny how sometimes it's the way that it's said back to us?
Okay, two things here. First off, right off the get-go, he goes, I tested positive for COVID, so I flew back to Chicago. Now, there was a time when that would be frowned upon quite a bit, right? Like, oh, I got COVID.
You're supposed to immediately go to your hotel room and stay there for 15 days. That in the good old days, that's what we used to do when we got COVID.
That used to be the thing. And now he's just like, I was out in LA, I got COVID, so I got on an airplane and flew back to Chicago. And everyone's just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why? Just stay where you are.
All those people on the airplane, we don't know them, so fuck them if they also get sick.
It doesn't matter. So then he goes on to say that he told Michael Hitchcock that he had COVID, and Michael Hitchcock said, "Oh, you have COVID?"
Yeah.
And that turned it like I didn't understand what was going on there. What was that whole conversation? Were they trying to like mine some comedy out of that or something?
It didn't go the way that I thought. I thought that he said it the way I would have, which was, "You have COVID in 2023?"
Yeah, that's not
it's like somebody who tells you they're HIV positive now. You're like, really?
You're like,
come on.
Yeah, isn't there a pill for that? You're fine, right?
Who gets COVID anymore? Ugh, that's embarrassing.
It's not a big deal, obviously. So, this dialogue is enraging.
Adel, so what I'm hearing from you is that this is our first episode ever that we are having to record.
Okay.
Without the creator, the glue, the god of Hey Riddle, that is Adel Rafai. This whole episode's going to be no Adel.
Unless there's some way to put this audio in front of the episode.
We could try. We could try, Adel, but we don't know if it can be done. I'm freaking out. Casey doesn't even, I don't even know how time works anymore. Are you serious? Oh my God.
Casey's saying that we can't do that because we would have had to record this before we recorded the episode, but we wouldn't have known about this at that time. And I guess what Casey does in an editing term, there's no goesies backsies, so I guess we can't.
Yeah.
Okay, what does Adel do on the podcast? He does puns.
My COVID's getting really loud over. My COVID is I can't.
Oh, his COVID's going through a tunnel.
Oh no,
he's going through a tunnel with his COVID.
Well, JPC.
Mask on in the tunnel. Mask on in the tunnel. That's indoors, technically.
It's so boring. Like they have energy, and they're going back and forth, but everything they're saying is just a bore fest. Like, shut up.
I really miss Gloof the Mouse during that clip. I really wish he would have come back.
What the fuck? All right, let's get back to what you were checking out here.
So up until this point, we've had so much fun just enjoying what a great podcast this is. And this next clip is the moment where I realized what the actual gimmick of the podcast is. Because I'd only heard about it. I listened to a little bit here and there, and I was like, I think this will be a good fit for WATP. So what I found out is where the improv comedy actually comes in. So each of the hosts is able to make the other two hosts act out in a little scene based on a bunch of dumb rizzies and puzzies that we're not going to really get into. But it's also what makes this show so incredibly difficult to pull clips from. This is kind of what I was talking about. Because these scenes a lot of times will be 3 minutes long, and there's enough that I want to take out that I want to call attention to, that it's like, all right, but where's the point to cut it? So I've cut this little scene into 3 parts because it was the only way I could figure out how to do it. Okay. So my clip 23 is the first of, as I said, the first of 3. But as you'll hear immediately, even Aaron is like, what? You want a scene? So let's listen to clip 23 together.
Aaron, can I please see a scene?
Are you sure?
I think so.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, you are a young child in like the 1900s, early 1900s. JPC, you are this child's parent, and you're trying to get them in the bath.
No, no, no.
Now, I won't have it. I won't have it, you see. You must take a bath. You're absolutely filthy. We can see the flies dancing atop your head.
Why should I respect you? We've only met twice.
That's true. On the day you were born, when you came out of your mother, God rest her soul, and I said, we'll call this one Matthew or Danny or some such. And the second day, when I welcomed you home from the boarding school I shipped you off to.
So we established that they've been doing this for 4.5 years. The episode I listened to is 245. So, and I'm just going to assume they knew each other before this. So in all that time, they somehow have managed to have a complete and utter lack of an ability to build scenes together and actually perform them together. There's moments throughout just that clip, like we've only met 2 times. Oh, fuck. What? Oh, okay. So like I said before, the rule of improv is apparently never affirm, never, ever affirm under any circumstances. Make it easy for your scene partner to try to finish the scene. We get more of that.
Too, 'cause it goes against the basic rules of the premise. The premise is, okay, early 1900s, daughter, you're the parent, and then they have to say we've only met twice? That just fucks everything up. Like, now the premise is fucked.
Well,
now we got to tap dance around to figure out how that could be.
If you appreciate them abandoning the premise and introducing new ones in only the space of a minute, you're going to love clip 24.
No, 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 Father. I will not. I will not take a bath.
Why? You're being absolutely petulant. Petulant, I say. If you won't take a bath, I guess I have no choice but to call up your supervisor in the mines and tell them you're signing up for an extra shift on Saturday.
Father, no. I'm only 2 weeks from retirement.
No. Black lung pish posh. You'll work in the mine on Saturday and you'll work a 10-hour shift for 4 nickels.
You're humiliating me, Father. I have children of my own, and those children have children.
Father, what's going on? Are you in trouble?
No, son. Go back to the mines. Your shift is starting.
Yes, you're right.
See? Look how your son listens and respects you. If only I could have that for my boy. And me, a man of 27. And I'm being disrespected in such a way.
Scene. Fun. Okay.
My favorite part of the clip is at the end when Aaron says, fun, because we know that means that was not fun at all.
Terrible. That was so stupid.
Bad.
Because everything they introduced into the scene, then they had to wipe out with everything they said after that. But I guess that's the part that's really fun.
Yeah.
Hey, this doesn't make any sense, right? Because I'm a child and I'm also a grandmother. Pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff.
Well, they have that old-timey vaudeville music in the background, so that really made the scene, though, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Also, they talked old-timey, but not really. So, yeah, that worked out really well. Oh, this is look at it. It doesn't make any sense. Lizzo's in Star Wars. This must be fun. Jack Black. We must be having fun because it doesn't make any sense.
No, what you didn't understand, Carl, you're not a real Star Wars fan. You didn't understand that people wanted Star Wars to be more like The Love Boat.
Well, that's true, but only for the catchy tunes.
Tune in for Ted McGinley next week.
Star Wars. Soon you'll be flying around. All right. Do you have one more clip from this improv? You mentioned 3.
We can turn the page on that. That's all right. That's a good moment. Her going, fun was enough, I think.
Yeah. Hey, the mines. All right. Then in that case, I got to talk to you about their 4th anniversary. Now, we just had episode 400 on WATP. Doesn't mean it 4th anniversary, but they had their 4th
congratulations
anniversary.
all the same,
Oh, well, thank you, sir. So they had their 4th anniversary, and the way they decided to treat that was by acting like they had graduated from like a 4-year school. Because I don't know if you know this, but a lot of undergraduate schools, it takes 4 years.
Yeah, I was a junior college guy myself, but I tell that some of the rest of you went to school for 4 years, but that's okay.
All right, so just trust me on this one. Now, Aaron, who's hysterical, we've established that.
I mean, legitimately, she's probably my favorite if I have to pick one.
Okay. All right. Well, don't make me pick one, I guess. So she is presenting at the graduation ceremony.
4 short years ago, in July of 2018, you started this journey to become a better riddle solver, improviser, and podcast host. We blinked and now we're here. July of 2022. It's time to celebrate all the work you did over the last 4 years and look forward to the bright future ahead.
So the reason why I picked up on that is because they're terrible at this now. We're playing clips from more recent episodes. They're 4.5 years in, and they're like, we did this to get better at improv and broadcasting and solving riddles. You suck at it. How bad were you before? I'm hoping they just didn't learn anything. I hope they weren't actually worse than this when they started. Now, one of the things you want to do, because
they couldn't have been, right? I mean, it's not possible that they could have been worse than this, right?
I can't imagine it.
Or were they more reserved and less likely to just push a bunch of sound effects and do voices that don't make any sense? Like, were they trying a little harder at the beginning?
That's a question I'll never know the answer to.
Yep, same. Hey, Cardiff, if you're in the chat, Cardiff, can you go and listen to Hey Riddle?
I don't want to know that badly. I don't care. So one of the fun things to do when you're doing a show like a big 4th year anniversary and you're celebrating all your accomplishments over the years and you got a big audience and you're bringing the audience with you and hey, look what we've done. Immediately what you want to do is bring up inside shit that only your co-host would know about and giggle about that type of stuff.
For many recordings in 2019, we would keep accidentally locking each other out of the studio when someone went to the bathroom. You'd have to hope you brought your phone to the bathroom and say something like, hey, I'm locked out by accident. Can you come and get me? Or if you didn't have your phone, you had to bang on the door like a maniac.
Wow. That sounds like it'd be really interesting for the other 2 people on your show and nobody else. That was 90 seconds in to their 4-year anniversary show. Immediately inside baseball anecdotes. Okay, cool.
But you know what? In those 90 seconds, they got 4,000 more patrons. So obviously they're doing something that we just don't understand.
Obviously, because Erin is not funny, but she thinks she's funny. And you can tell that this is scripted. And she put this together and was like, oh yeah, this is going to kill.
Some of you typed in riddles into the podcast app, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, thinking that this would be a real riddle podcast. Some of you got forced to listen to us by your weird brother or significant other, silently resenting them for introducing this poison into your life. Some of you heard us mentioned in passing by the podcast My Brother and Me, and thought, I guess I'll listen to a riddle podcast. I trust Justin. Maybe you're here from Dungeons and Daddies. Maybe you're a fan of Cunt the Badger. Maybe this downloaded on your phone on its own, like the U2 album. No matter how you got here, you're here now. And the curse states that you're not allowed to leave us until 2027, when JPC dies after he gets killed by the followers of his own sex cult.
Be more funny.
This is not witty stuff, Aaron. This is terrible. And I'm not surprised that they're buddies with My Brother and Me, another horrible improv show that's for idiots. People who hate comedy like this.
Yeah, Dungeons and Daddies is on my list, by the way, for shows that we might want to get to one day. I had
is that also on there? Yeah,
that's deep on my list, though. That's
Okay.
That's down in the AAA farm team. So
fair enough. And then one more clip from this graduation ceremony, because I don't know about you, but I think bathroom breaks are one of the funniest things you could possibly talk about.
Some of you typed in riddles into the podcast app, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, thinking that this would be a real riddle podcast.
Oh shit, that's the same clip, isn't it?
Yeah, but we got to hear again that they're apparently no fan of editing, because she clearly flubs the line there. And it's like, they have a producer. There's a clip I have that we may or may not get to where they talk to their producer. And it's like, all right, he could have trimmed that. He could have done anything. But it's like, oh, we had the music bed. They probably played the music bed live while she spoke. So now they can't fix it. anyway, I've just figured out why they didn't fix it.
I think you figured out why they didn't fix it.
Yeah.
I think you nailed it with that. All right, I'll throw it back to you, Christian.
Okay,
I don't know
so
how much
you're gonna
longer
have
I
to
can
take
listen
my
to these
word for
people.
it because they're doing some scene where the two guys are each playing an onion and a tomato, and they're trying to, they're acting out a scene in the space of a fridge. That's not the important part. The important part in my clip 31 is Erin's really starting to have had her fill of these guys for this hour that they're together. So clip 31, let's give a listen.
All right, I gotta go to the other board for that.
Hey, I have an idea. Follow my lead.
No, what's my name?
Huh?
What's my name? I said your name was Tom.
Oh, your name's Orion.
Yep.
Hey, Erin. Psst. Hey, Erin.
Huh, these two are bad. Can't use these. Trash.
Oh, she just threw her feet. She just threw her feet in the trash.
That's so sad.
She's stepping into the trash.
No.
Erin, no, you're worth it. You're worth it.
And we'll never know what she was making.
Wow. Rather than enjoying the scene, Erin would rather kill 2 pieces of perfectly good fruit and veg.
Yeah, that's a shame, Erin. That's just an absolute shame.
I'm sorry, but I'm not.
So this might be why I'm at least a little bit more fond of Erin, is because she just occasionally would stop a scene that was going nowhere, and I think the other guys would have kept going. And again, it's an example of them trying to fuck each other up. And like, what was my name? Do you remember what my name was? And it's like, no, I don't know what your name was.
Yeah, come on.
But let's derail the scene because so that you can show that you're smarter.
It's hard enough trying to be funny with you. Come on, man. Help me out a little bit. So because you're loving Erin so much, I have to play this clip because this is proof.
Is the love affair about to be over, Carl?
Yes. This is proof that Erin
good.
is an asshole. If you were hanging out with her, you'd be pretty pissed off.
I had a game night recently with friend of the show, Anthony Birch.
Okay.
And we...
Guess my invite got lost in the fucking mail.
You don't live in the same city as me.
That makes sense.
And for a big chunk of the game night, I insisted we listen to the soundtrack for Cats. Because I thought it would make our...
Which one? The movie version or the Broadway?
I think the Broadway version.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Notice how she phrased that. I insisted on listening to the soundtrack. Cats.
Yeah.
So in other words, people were like, let's not do that. That's a bad idea. And
Look,
she was like, no, we're doing
I don't know how
sucks.
many actual theater nerds you've ever had in your life at any point, but what I do know about them is Cats is not something that any of them actually really like. If you're serious about music or theater, much less both, you hate that show and all the songs in it. So Erin is no longer my favorite. I'm gonna go with whatever the fuck that Gloof the Mouse is definitely my favorite on this show now.
Christian, you there, buddy?
Anyway.
I'm so sorry. You are, I don't know if it's me or you, but you are breaking up. I didn't hear a word you just said.
You broke up a little bit earlier, so maybe we're just taking turns on it.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Yeah. Well, what I said was nobody likes Cats, even theater nerds. So yeah, she's not number 1 on my list anymore.
That
Gloof
sucks.
the Mouse is now my new favorite.
Okay, good. Okay, yes. That makes more sense. All right, let's wrap this up. I know you got a lot more clips. What do you want to hit on here?
Okay, so clip 34 is the return of their most hilarious sound effect, and it's also a really important milestone in this episode of the show. Clip 34.
I gotta take this. I gotta take this. I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I have to get hello. Okay. It's my grandpa.
Oh, it's Howard Dean being murdered. Your grandpa is Howard Dean being murdered.
I know. I have to go. I'll see you guys there.
All right, let's see after break.
So yes, that is the halfway point of the episode that I had picked, and we'd really mind a lot at this point. And I will do my best to pick up the pace. There's a few more to hit.
Okay.
I do want my clip 35 though, which references their producer Casey, who clearly feels like they've done this show in a way so far that it's like, I can't put on my resume that I produced this dumb show. So let's listen to clip 35, please.
I better not hear you fuckers
Bite.
ever complain about my sound cues again after this episode. Do you know the restraint I have shown? You know how many sound effects I haven't added to the Zencaster soundboard? I could have done a fart reverb. You know how much I would have loved to add a fart reverb? Jesus Christ, man.
He knows the term for it.
Sorry, sir.
I will say, after having a soundboard for half a day, Casey has shown a remarkable amount of restraint.
And Hendrix invented the fart reverb, right?
That's funny.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You know how you know that clip was funny, Carl? They
'Cause they
said
said it
3
was?
times that clip was funny. That's how you know.
Must have been funny. They must have been having a lot of fun, and it was funny.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say that giving people a soundboard can end a relationship very quickly. That's a really good way to find out how annoying somebody is when they have a soundboard in front of them.
Yeah. Well,
I fought for a
there
long
were-
time to keep one away from Vinny, but motherfucker got his hands on one. What are you gonna
Well,
do?
that's why he has to spend so much time with the potato now.
Correct.
So throughout the course of the episode I listened to, there were plenty of times where I was convinced I couldn't possibly find these people more annoying than I do now. But they never ceased to amaze me because clip 37 was kind of the peak in this episode for me.
Riddle.
But before we do this next riddle, I'm gonna need you to put your pun hat on. Pun hat on. Pun hat on. Put
What's that to the
your
tune of,
little
Aaron?
pun hat on and shut off your brain. Okay.
Kind of forgot about that clip when I said that I liked Aaron the best. So
Yeah, what the
clearly.
fuck, Christian?
I don't know what I was thinking. She at
Why
least
did
tried
she
to keep
get
the episode moving.
Now, when I started singing the Star Wars song to the Love Boat theme, I immediately got embarrassed and stopped. Why did she do that? Like, after
Well-
she started singing that, she should be like,
Yeah.
all right, this is stupid. I'm going to stop
Like
now.
she could have said put our pun hat on and then stopped, but she's like, well, I've come up with verses in my head, and hopefully everybody starts to sing along. You know,
Yeah, the other asshole's like, I don't know how to harmonize, but why don't I try it now? Okay.
We've established that the sound effects have not helped this episode, but as it turns out, the one time they actually need a sound clip, they don't have it. Clip 40, please.
Let me try and get a bird in here. Let me try and lure a bird onto my finger and I can eat that.
I don't have a bird effect either. I don't.
Excuse me, Mr. Bird, what'd you say?
Thanks, dude.
Insane.
I was looking. I don't have a bird effect. I was trying to help. I was trying to be a bird. I don't have it.
I can't believe this is popular. This is so terrible. You know, there's a contest NPR is doing or one of these things where it's like they're doing like a student podcast contest, like submit your student podcasts. We're trying to find new podcasters. This is what I would expect to hear if it was just like high school kids or college students putting a podcast together. You'd be like, oh God, Jesus, this is not good. People listen to this on purpose.
If you had like a middle school nephew that's like, oh, Uncle Carl, I know that you listen to podcasts all the time. Can you listen to mine? And you're like, you know what, for a 7th grader, it wasn't good, but it's kind of what you expect.
That's not what I would say. I would go, never podcast again. You're terrible.
Smart.
Out of my family. Change your last name. You're no hamburger. You're no longer a hamburger to me.
You're no hamburger. You're a vegan hot dog from Portillo's. So clip 43 is the answer to the riddle. Why did the man stand behind his donkey? So that's the riddle. Okay. And I enjoy this clip because it's Erin's breaking point in the episode. She actually tries to end the episode, but then I guess looks at the clock. So no one's happy here. So play my clip 43, please.
He wanted to do it in the ass.
No.
Because his wife said he could do it in the ass.
No. Bye.
Bye.
She can't even do the proper outro. She's so frazzled.
Bye.
Aaron's gone.
Bye. No, bye.
Bye. Sell.
That's her new outro.
Actually, I'm going to do another Jupiter to just cleanse the space. We're going to start over. Thank you. We're cleaning the space, everybody.
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting, we can't see a woman on a desert island shopping, but we'll allow this.
I just cleared the space. I just cleared it in bad energy. I cleared it in bad energy.
Light some sage.
You're going to make me mad. I'm
okay?
upset. I'm
No, Aaron,
mad.
I'm sorry. Here, let me put some olive oil in a heated pan, put in some garlic and some onion.
Aaron, if you think that it's a bad energy for a man to fuck a donkey, I'm sorry, but you're going to have about 4 people on the internet who are real weirdos very upset with you.
No, we still have time left. Okay.
On this earth.
So we all know the game Fuck, Marry, Kill. And listening to that clip, I think I've come up with a new game. Why don't you pick the participants for this new game, Carl? Kill, kill, kill. You decide which one of them you'd like to kill, which one you'd like to kill, and which one you'd like to kill.
I would like to murder Aaron, manslaughter JPC, and I don't know, second degree Adel. These people suck, dude. This is terrible.
Well,
I can't fucking believe this is a real thing that people listen to.
And it's so big. At some point in life, you're going to have a conversation with somebody that's like, oh, do you listen to Hey Riddle? And then that'll be a person that you also have to manslaughter. So at this point, we're about...
By the way, Christian, I'm a podcasting expert.
That's true.
No one knows more about podcasting than me. And I'm befuddled. I'm like, what is going on here? People are listening to this. I'm listening to a minute-long clip, and I'm like, I got to turn this off. This is terrible.
No, all the shows that you played on episode 400, you're like, I don't like Bert, but for some reason people do, so I can understand how it's successful. It's not for me, but I get all those shows. You can at least be like, all right, I can explain it. There's no explanation. Especially,
they're not even playing Dungeons and Dragons. At least if they were playing D&D, I'd be like, all right, well, it's for someone, but this is nothing. There's nothing going on here.
So at this point, we're 50 minutes into their podcast, and the best riddle they've gotten throughout the whole show is this clip 44. But these idiots do not appreciate the riddle in clip 44. And they point out, like, oh, this is an old book. It's from an earlier time. But let me know what you think of clip 44.
What is the difference between a girl and an umbrella?
A girl and an umbrella?
Yeah.
Let's see.
You should never open up a girl inside the house?
No. That would make me laugh. You can shut up an umbrella.
What the fuck?
Molly. No, she would die if I.
But yeah, this is not
She
Molly's
told me
fault.
how bad these are.
You shut up an umbrella?
Yeah, but
I've never heard that before.
No, you've never heard that before, but of what I had to work with in this hour, that was the best one. But they're going to now double down on what was the funniest moment in their podcast, because this is something you were talking about earlier, that the future of comedy is, just the most safe, bland, not even vanilla, whatever is more bland than vanilla. And you might want to get your checkbooks ready because of the declaration in this clip 45.
Can you imagine back in I want to say 1935, whenever this book was written, you just had dinner, everyone retires to the parlor. You play a few parlor games, and then suddenly Uncle Jack gets up in his smoking jacket and he goes, hey, I got a joke to tell. And he tells this fucking clunker, and all the men hoot and howl. They hit and they pound on their tables. They stoke
God,
the
that
fire.
Jack's a real cut up. What a funny man that Jack is. Whatever happened to him? Arsenic poisoning, huh? Guess he was just eating arsenic. Oh, that poor widow of his. I wonder if she knew that his food was laced with arsenic.
That's what they say. They say women poison and men
write joke books.
Men write joke books.
Oh, Aaron, yeah, you're right. That one was really bad.
Sucks.
And that one was a test, because if you thought that one was good, actually, go to your checkbook, write yourself a big check for your fucking privilege. That's right. Check your privilege.
Check yourself.
All right.
Yeah. So get out that checkbook, Carl.
Waiting to check my privilege. Hey, I got a joke. I got a riddle for you, Christian. What's the difference between an ironing board and Hannah, our review girl? Sometimes it's hard to get the legs open on an ironing board. Be here all week, everybody. Tell your
All
friends.
right. A little later, I do have a clip that I want to save for the voicemail segment. But the last clip from this show that I want to play, my clip 47, I think is good for everybody. You might want to download this to your phone, Carl, because if anybody ever says, "Hey, what's your problem with improv? Where do you hate it so much?" Just play clip 47.
I'd like to see a scene.
Oh.
JPC, you are a pet frog that knows that if you get touched, you will die. And Adel, you are his teenage, preteen owner.
Hey,
not too close. Don't get too close.
well, I'll stay back here. I just want to say, Smacks, don't fuck my mom.
Kid, come on. My mom fucking days are long over, okay? I'm retired now. I'm just Hey, did you bring me any flies?
Sort of. I brought you a picture. I brought you a picture of Jennifer Lopez, who famously started as a fly girl on In Living Color. Fly girls were sort of dancers in the 90s.
This'll do for a different reason, but I am gonna need something to eat. I do need something.
Scene.
The exaggerated scene is like, no, stop. Even I don't want this.
Please, scene.
Yeah. Don't you understand
shit.
this? Well, in the end, Carl, maybe Hey Riddle isn't about the way it ends, but it's about the friends we made along the way. Maybe that's what we should have learned.
No, as if we haven't already been doing this for the last hour. I think it's time for our
Cringe of the week. Cringe of the week.
And unfortunately, someone who was on our show recently is being looked at here because my buddy John Marlowe sent me this clip from Ski Mask Collective, and Ski Mask Collective featuring Stevie Lou, who comes up with this gem.
Now, your sister...
No, hold on, wait, hold on. Before we get into that, hold on. No, before I got what you're going with. Wait a second, Bobo. An Amazon package? Where do you know someone that lives in Brazil that goes to the Amazon rainforest and sends you packages? Like, what are you getting from down in Brazil?
Stevie, I really hope that never mind. I really hope certain shows do not clip what you just said, because that was brutal.
That's correct, Ski Mask. That did make cringe of the week.
Oh,
that was not good. Not your
No,
best.
I mean-
Did you know that Amazon is also a river?
I think that, I don't know, when Amazon as a company started, I don't know what that was, 2000, 2005, whatever it was, that day, that was still not a good joke. The first time you ever heard of it, it was already not a good joke.
Still didn't work. All right, I got a couple. Go ahead.
Okay, but before you move on, I wanted to tell you, I'm actually starting a new show called Carl's Cucks. And we're basically just going to play clips of people on shows that compliment you. So I have my clip 51. It's from Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. And look, the clip doesn't start well, but I think you're going to like what Jim has to say and feel like he ends really strong in my clip 51.
Now, I was actually going to work this into a later segment because we're going to get all into this whole Anthony versus Bill Burr.
That's
saga,
my mistake then.
Which is what Jim is talking about here.
I should have
Fuck
checked
it,
with
I'll
you.
play it. And I will play it again later, too. I don't care. I appreciate that Jim brought me up on the Jim and Sam show this past week.
Everyone's fighting with Stuttering John. I like Stuttering John. This one's fighting with that one. I like Shuley. I like Carl. And I like all these guys.
Yeah. And
He likes you.
Yeah. And so Jim's point was that he doesn't feel like he needs to pick sides in these petty battles that go on between podcasters and other internet personalities.
But I lost a little respect when he said I like Stuttering John. I just think he hasn't talked to him enough.
Well, that is the thing about Jim, is he's a loyal guy. He's similar to Florentine in that way. And those guys were good friends growing up. And, Florentine's also friends with everybody. He talks to Chad Zumach for an hour a day on the phone. I mean, the Florida's best.
He who shall not be named.
Yes, my bad. You might have noticed that we played a voicemail just this past episode where somebody said someone should make a parody called Club Footed to Foreigners Hot Blooded. And lo and behold, it shows up in my inbox. Ian Daniel pulled this together very quickly.
Well, I'm club-footed, need surgery. My feet are fucked up, and so are my teeth. Come on, Jenny, wanna play some rock band? I'm club-footed. Don't know how to pronounce words. My mouth is filled with cat turds. Picture exactly. Now you move so bad. Feet are fucked up like Chad. I wanna know where you listen to my show. Now my friends are spud. All his friends
there was a what I consider to be a deep pull in there.
Yeah.
Come on, Jenny, you want to play some Rock Band? Good lyric. And then Mr. Magenta coming in. We haven't heard from Mr. Magenta in a minute. And he's got one for Stuttering John. And we played this actually on the bonus show, but I said, you know what, I'm going to play it again. That's fine. People who are on the Patreon Supercast got a sneak preview of this. No more Mr. Nice John.
I used to be such a sweet, sweet thing till they started trolling me. I get money for beloved shatters and get too drunk to see. I got no friends cause they read the Reddits. They can't be seen with me. On dates I'm getting real shot down and I'm feeling mean. I said no more Mr. Nice John. No more will I clean. No more Mr. Nice John. They say I smell fucking obscene. I dropped a beer can on my head today. The cat shit in my bed. Mom's been getting tons of prank phone calls. And Dad, well, he's just dead. I went to Pickwick, shithouse wasted, like everybody knows. The bartender, she recognized me and punched me in the throat. I said, no more, Mr. Nice John. No more will I clean.
All right, no more Mr. Nice John coming in from Mr. Magenta. Always appreciate those song parodies. Now, I have to address this Opie radio clip. I was going to pull this myself and play it, and then Opie put it out. You know how he likes to make his little videos now? For the clickbaity videos that are just 40 seconds long.
Yeah.
So he actually put this out, which I was surprised by. And in order to talk about this whole saga between Opie and Anthony and Bill Burr and Club Soda Kenny, we're going to set all of this up if you don't know about this, but this has been the big news going on. I mentioned in episode 400 that Anthony was at the Comedy Cellar, tried to go talk to Bill Burr, and Bill Burr's security, who happened to be Club Soda Kenny, used to work for the Opie and Anthony show, physically removed Anthony from the club. So that's the big news that's going on. And this is an extremely misguided video about me. And I want to bring in, I mentioned I have a special guest on the show today to talk about this, because this is a guy who's also kind of involved in this whole scene. He used to have a show on Compound Media. He's had multiple falling outs with Anthony himself. I think he's friends with Opie now. I'm not sure, but I thought it'd be great to bring on Kevin Brennan. He doesn't normally go on other people's shows, but he's coming on WATP. Kevin Brennan, what's happening, buddy?
Okay, I'm just going to start out right now and say Carl's a fucking idiot.
Oh, come on, Kevin. I thought we were friends here.
You're a fucking idiot, Carl. And then you have this guy on the show who goes, hey, this podcast sucks. Here's 47 clips of it.
I know. He goes, this is hard to clip. There's 50 clips from one episode.
Here's 47. They suck. They all suck. Listen to them all.
Good point, Kevin.
Piazza.
He is a piazza. I agree with you. Okay, so check this out. This was made by Opie and his team, and Cardiff's in on the fucking act now. Cardiff is now introducing these clips.
It's me, your pal Cardiff Electric, and you're watching a clip from Opie Radio.
No, this is called WATP being very hypocritical when it comes to Anthony. That's the name of this clip. All right.
I find it hypocritical that WATP is silent about the chest bump incident, yet they attack everyone else.
The Kenny Club Soda.
Oh, Minaj coming in hot.
AGH.
Minaj coming in hot. That is a very, very good point. If you're going to go down that road, you got to make fun of everybody. We made fun of everybody.
He did
That
talk
is
about the story.
Cardiff, I know you got a relationship over here, but that's a very good point by Minaj. Because if you're doing it right, like Opie and Anthony did, we made fun of everybody. Everybody. And there's a lot there to make fun of. I'll be honest. My little video about it blew up. It did very, very well. So they need to do that, and they would get a lot of views. Go for it. Why not? Anthony's all about, it's all just fun and games. That's a very good point. That is a very good point.
WATP did address it, but no, he did not go after him. No.
All right.
See, this is what's so annoying about Opie right here is he reads a comment. He doesn't know anything about this. Carter's trying to explain to him the whole fucking time. He keeps trying to like get a word in. They're like, no, they addressed it. I talked about it. And Opie's going, yeah, why wouldn't you do that? First off, my show format is we make fun of podcasts. So if someone's going to podcast about it, which Opie did, then we'll address it, which I will. But I just find it very obnoxious that Opie feel like that was a big gotcha for you. Oh, a super chatter said Carl sucks. He must be right.
Listen, I'm just gonna say Opie's a fucking genius. So
You've never heard Kevin say that word before.
Well, you know, he's talking to potatoes. He's talking to corn. I mean, he's fucking blowing up. He's selling tickets.
He is blowing up and selling tickets. So later on in that same video, I just want to play this quick clip because this is embarrassing for Opie. He gets very excited about the number of people who are watching him live on this.
148 strong. I see 196.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, Bob, because I do both Facebook and YouTube. So the total right now is 195. Oh, it's 189. Oh, I hate when that happens.
Christian, could you ever imagine Opie from Opie and Anthony would be celebrating having close to 200 people watching him live?
I couldn't imagine Dennis Falcone being excited about 195 people watching him stream live.
Has performed in front of more people at a wedding. It's not impressive. And I got to say that, Kevin Brennan, you have way more than 200 people watching your show live.
148. I don't even get out of bed for 148 people. I used to go to Compound for $100, but now I don't get out of bed for 148 people. This is stupid.
Yeah, and you know what Opie's doing? He's reading $2 super chats. Can you believe that?
Again, Opie's a genius. So.
Okay.
What can I say?
You can never stop to take too many super chats. I agree with Kevin on that.
Now, what Opie was referring to in that previous video is that he made a video called Anthony versus Bill Burr. It has 17,000 views. This is gold for Opie. This blew up for Opie, him addressing this whole situation. And so it starts off bashing Jim Norton. I don't know why he felt the need to do this, but he did.
After seeing his dear friend Jimmy perform, yuck. Where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy when it comes to the Anthony Cumia versus Bill Burr thing? I'll tell you where he is. He has his taint. Jim Norton has his taint sitting exactly in the middle of the fence. That's where Jimmy is. Jim Norton, right there with his taint, right on the fence. Supporting Anthony a little bit, supporting Bill a little bit, because he doesn't want to piss off either guy. So stupid Jimmy and his dumb fat taint is sitting right there on the fence.
Boom! Hot take. Now, I think you're allowed to be friends with both guys, right?
Yeah.
You have to take sides. When two guys argue, you have to decide which side you're on. Is that how life works?
I mean, Opie should understand that because almost everyone sided with Anthony when the two of them split up. And, I mean, just Vic Henley was with Opie and everybody else was like, yeah, I'm going to be Team Anthony on this.
Yeah, Joe DeRosa and Vic Henley. Now, look, I think if you call someone's wife ugly, they're allowed to not like you anymore.
Sure.
But also, Bill Burr's wife is not hot. Can we all agree on that? Kevin, can we agree on that?
Listen, I'm a father. That offends me. I'm not a racist or anything. I can't tell. I think Bill Burr's wife is beautiful.
I was expecting.
I'm gonna put my taint on the fence with Jim Norton because I never know who I'm gonna ask for a job. So I'll just say I've never seen Bill Burr's wife, so I have no idea.
Well, that's the other thing too. It sounds like, and we're gonna play more clips of this. It sounds like Opie just learned the word taint, and he thinks it's hilarious. He's like, this guy, you know what he's doing? He's sitting on the fence with his taint.
It's number 2 to skunk farts.
It's up there.
Yeah.
All right. So now this is Opie talking about how he never clicks on videos. He talks about this all the time. He loves to be uninformed, and it makes it difficult to do the job of commentating on all the things going on in your universe if you don't know anything about what's going on in your universe. But Opie loves this. He loves to not know. He's keeping it real uninformed. So this is him explaining that just this week, he finally had to click on some of these videos to see what was doing, but he never clicks on these videos. You have to trust him. Even though he did, he never does.
Everyone was sending me this video of Anthony explaining what happened at the Comedy Cellar. And I've been for a very long time, I don't click on anything. And I went against my own rules twice this week. Twice. So when I break my rule, I'm gonna tell you. Because when I tell people I don't click on anything, they don't believe me. I don't click on anything. But then when I get a weak moment and I click on something, I feel like I got to tell you guys.
So obviously that was very contradicting himself when he says, I never click on things, and I would tell you guys, and I did click on 2 things this week, but I never do, but I did. But he finally became informed on a subject. He clicked on a link and watched a video that he can now respond to. This is a 50-minute long video he put out, 17,000 views. Opie, click on shit. It's probably good for you to know what you're talking about. It's probably not a bad idea. I don't know why he has the moral high ground just because he's not clicking on links. And Patty Puke Water, the same thing. Click on shit. Know what you're talking about. It doesn't hurt. If you want to make fun of me, listen to a show. See what we're talking about. Makes it easier. For some reason, Opie's very upset with Jim Norton. Kevin, what do you think about Jim Norton?
Oh, Jim's a fucking idiot.
Okay, that's what I thought you were going to say. That's what I thought you were going to say. So Opie is explaining that Jim is a phony, which is odd to me because this is what I listened to that Jim and Sam episode from, I think it was Monday. And, you know, a caller calls in. He's like, oh, you're not going to talk about this, Jim? Jim's like, yeah, I'll talk about whatever the fuck you want. You know, he explains, just like we heard on that clip. I'll play it again. I don't give a shit.
Everyone's fighting with Stuttering John. I like Stuttering John. This one's fighting with that one. I like Shuley. I like Carl. And I like all these guys.
He likes Anthony. He likes Bill. He likes Club Soda Kenny. He likes all these people. What's he supposed to do? Just decide like, okay, I'm not going to be friends with this person anymore because they had a falling out. So now Opie's just got to get some shots in on Jim Norton. And again, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
So I guess the story goes, Anthony went and saw Jim Norton, and then Jim Norton was at the Black Cat Pussycat, pretty much doing the same material that he's been doing for over 10 years. And then Anthony's like, you know what, I'm close. I'm going to go to the Cellar, which is stupid because there's so many people at the Cellar that simply don't like him because of his race talk.
So Opie's just making shit up now, which is not good content. So to say that Jim Norton's doing the same material he's been doing for the last 10 years, Opie has said he's never seen Jim's material in this time. And I've seen Jim Norton live probably 10 times, and it's always been different. The one thing about Jim, he's pretty prolific when it comes to writing material. He's not just rehashing.
I saw one of those, whatever, the Black Pussycat shows last May when I was there, and it was a complete hour. I'd never heard him even talk about stuff on the radio. A little bit since then, some of those things have come up, but he talks about his new girlfriend, and clearly Opie hasn't heard any of his new material, because if he had, he'd know exactly where Jim's taint is on a regular basis.
But it's just an insane thing to make fun of Jim Norton for,
Yeah.
is not updating his material. That's one thing he's very, very good at. And he's a very funny comic, I have to say.
He's very funny. I mean, that hour's great. And, you know, on the show, it's not like he's ever like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. You know, I mean, it's, I don't know anything that I know so much more about Jim Norton than I know about any other human being on the earth. And I don't know if I'm comfortable with some of the things I know about him.
Fair enough. I understand what you mean by that. Now, Kevin Brennan doesn't even like stand-up comedy. He thinks it's all stupid.
Stand-up comedy is fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. Why go fucking play shows when you can just sit in your house and talk to people?
That's
they
a good
throw you
point.
money. They're idiots.
That's a good point. I guess if I could just sit in my house and read super chats all day,
I have
would
no
probably do
dates.
that. All right. So listen, I'm going to say this because everyone's just like, Carl never addresses this. Like, I'm not a fan of Anthony's tirades against black people. I'm not a fan of that at all. I hate it. I think the problems with this country have a lot more to do with socioeconomics than race, because I've watched enough episodes of Cops that I know that poor white people are up to some crazy ass shit and they're not to be trusted. So I don't really think it has a lot to do with the race. I think it's about how much money you have and growing up and things like that. But the fact that Opie is saying that there should be places you're not allowed to go to because you have a different opinion than the people who are at that place. It's like, I don't know why Anthony's even going to the cellar. People don't like him there. It's like, so wait, what kind of country do we live in? There's most places I go to, the people who are there would not agree with me on a political basis. Does that mean I'm not allowed to go there anymore? I can't have a hot dog? I can't have a vegan hot dog from this place because people don't have the same political opinion as I do? I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I think my bubble would be very small here in Los Angeles if I was only going to go to events and places where, like, well, they're going to agree with me, aren't they?
Yeah, you go to Dennis Miller's house in Orange County, and that's it. Those are your two choices.
I was at one of those places yesterday.
So, Opie now goes into an extremely unfunny Bob Kelly impression. I like when Opie's feeling it because he really is terrible at this.
Because Minash gave him 14
he goes
czars.
Up to Bill Burr, because supposedly Bob Kelly's.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Well, because Minash gave him 14 czars, which was the monetary fund that he gave him.
Yeah,
and so he's
yeah.
like, oh, I'm really feeling myself here. Watch this.
Yeah, he's crushing it now. He's got his audience here.
So he goes up to Bill Burr, because supposedly Bob Kelly's like, dude, you got to figure this out with Bill Burr, dude. We all need to get along, dude. What a whole bunch of phony comedians making believe they get along with each other. They all despise each other, especially the ones that are more famous than them. But they'll sit around publicly, hey, make sure you check out blah blah special. He's the funniest guy in the business. But behind the scenes, they're like, F that guy. Should be me. Dude. You need to figure it out with Bill Burr, dude. Because everyone needs to get along. No, none of those guys get along.
So this is all projecting. Now, Christian, I know that you know comedians who run in different circles, probably on the West Coast. I know some on the East Coast here. Opie was always jealous of Howard and always wanted to have Howard's job. So he doesn't like Howard because of that. He doesn't realize that a lot of other people are pretty content with where they're at, and they can be friends with other comics who are maybe doing better than them or not as good as them. It's very possible to have these relationships without being jealous of everyone.
Yeah, not every comedian is Rich Voss. All the rest of them are happy for everyone else's success.
Right.
Voss is not, but I think Colin and Jim and Bob, they're all happy for each other. They like spending time. Yeah, because they make fun of each other.
They obviously do, like ball busting and hanging out. And Opie's going, none of these guys even like each other, because that's what his radio experience is. You know, it's about ratings or jealousy, obviously. So he goes on to explain how stupid Anthony is for wanting to make up with Bill Burr, who, by the way, they used to be friends. So it's not that crazy to want to do that.
So stupid Anthony goes, you know what? I'm going to work it out with Bill Burr. Not realizing that, like, the stuff he said about Bill Burr's wife, that's a game changer. It's a game changer. Simple as that.
So Anthony's not allowed to try to mend the fence. I don't know. I wouldn't knock Anthony for going up and being like, hey, Bill, you know, can we make up on this, or what do I need to do? No, obviously Bill has every right to be like, get the fuck out of my face and get out of this club right now. And which he did, which is fine. But I don't have any, who has a problem with Anthony approaching Bill to say like, hey man, are we cool? I don't know why that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, just as it's fine for Bill to be like, yeah, we're not cool, you know, and Anthony's like, I was just trying to say that your wife is Janet Jackson on Good Times ugly, not ugly, you know.
See, now that probably wouldn't have helped at all.
No, you're right. Probably wouldn't have. That's probably why I don't have friends. Why I can't go to the Comedy Cellar.
So, of course, now he's talking about how dumb Anthony is. This is how dumb Opie is. He doesn't even understand the difference here between what Anthony was trying to do and what Opie would do with Howard.
Jim Norton is one of them. Howard Stern's another one of them. I wouldn't just casually walk up to Howard after all the crap I've said over the years and go, "Hey, Howard."
Yeah, that's because you and Howard were never friends. That's the difference here. Anthony and Bill were friends. Club Soda Kenny's there hanging out with them. They were all friendly. They used to do shows together all the time. So the fact that Anthony would go up and be like, "Hey, man," is very different than Opie going up to Howard. And Opie is like talked about Howard's kids. It got real personal, like some real crazy shit. Howard does not like Opie at all for probably good reason.
But legitimately, if the guy that you see on your screen right now walked up to Howard, got close enough to him, do you think Howard would have any idea who that person is?
No, definitely not.
That's not Opie from Opie and Anthony.
And it wouldn't matter because whoever was with Howard would tackle this guy and beat the shit out of him for even getting close to him.
All Opie could hope for is to cough on him and ruin the rest of his week.
Right. All right. So this is uninformed Opie strikes again.
So Bill had every right to be beyond pissed. And I don't even know the extent. I just know in broad strokes that he's been incredibly crappy towards Bill Burr.
So he doesn't even know what Anthony said about Bill. They gotten Bill so upset. But he knows for a fact that he should not have even tried to apologize to him or to make up for it. Kevin, do you know what this is? Like why Bill's upset with Anthony?
Bill's upset with Anthony because Anthony's kind of a fucking idiot for going up to him. I don't understand why he even tried to, rekindle this whole thing. What does he think? Bill's not going to put him in the Mandalorian. There were no Tunisian back alley knife fighters in the Star Wars back then. He's not going to. Anthony had nothing to gain from this. Anthony's kind of a fucking idiot.
He's kind of a piazza.
He's a piazza.
We're too old to have. What are we gonna have friends now? How many friends do we have? Who cares? Why are we making friends? So that's like what piazzas do.
Right. What is everybody, Ray DeVito? I want to be everyone's friend. Ray, you're a fucking hack.
All right. That's why I brought Kevin on. I was hoping he would shed some light on the subject for us. All right. Opie right back to talking about Jim Norton for some reason.
All right, let's now go to Jim Norton and see what he has to say about the big Bill Burr versus Anthony Cumia. Oh, as he's balancing his stupid taint, his stupid worn out taint right in the middle of the fence. Well, who can help me more? Obviously, Bill Burr can help me more, so I got to lean this way a little bit. But you never know. Anthony can get hot again.
I just discovered something here. This is the way Opie thinks. This is the reason why he's saying this is because Opie is only friendly with someone who can help him out for his career. So he's like that must be the way Jim thinks. I think Jim genuinely isn't looking for handouts from Bill or Anthony. I think he genuinely likes both of those guys.
And you know who could help Opie with his career? Everyone. Literally everyone. Everyone in show business and out of show business.
Dude, if Opie listened to like 17 minutes of one of these podcasts, it would help him with his career. There's a lot of things he could do to get better.
He could do a Hey Riddle.
I think he'd be a great guest on that show because he also doesn't know how to improv. Taint. Good stuff.
He really is crushing it with the impressions on today's episode, by the way.
It doesn't even fucking make sense. So then he contradicts himself. This is all from the same video where he says, why would you try to make up with Bill? I'm not going to make up with Howard. I've said too many terrible things about him.
But you casually walk over to Bill like, oh, Bill's going to understand everything by now. We're going to work it out. No, you don't work it out. No. I said some crazy, outrageous stuff. I burned a lot of bridges. I'm not going to try to rebuild the bridge. I'm not going to walk up to Howard. Hey, Howard, hi. I did try through people we both knew. Very carefully. I didn't approach him with like, hey, Howard, why don't we try to work this out?
Opie's a fucking idiot.
Okay, Opie might be a fucking idiot.
he just said I wouldn't try to make up with Howard. He goes, I did try to make up with Howard at one point. But I did it differently than Anthony did. Okay.
Yeah, I had someone else try to do it for me.
Yeah. That's better. That's the better way to do it than just walk up to someone like a man and trying to shake their hand. No, that's definitely the way to go about it, Hope.
I sent a DM to Ralph Cirillo. Thought maybe he could help me out.
He's such an idiot. And then somebody comments about how Anthony, I guess, destroyed Opie. You know, the fans have to make it so dramatic, obviously.
Ant destroyed you last week. I don't care. Anthony has no credibility whatsoever. So, did he destroy me? What did Jim Norton do? This is Jim trying to balance on the fence. I do this. I got to talk to both these guys now. And hopefully neither guy will know that will be on to me, I should say. Shut up. He can destroy me all he wants. He has no credibility. Zero.
He obviously is very proud of that Jim thing he's doing with the fence and the taint.
Yeah, which, by the way, if you are ever actually trying to stay on a fence, you don't move so much. You actually hold still and grab on. You don't rock back and forth and try to move your hands like the mummy.
Who are you, Bob Levy? How do you know so much about sitting on a fence? That's very impressive, sir. So I love that he goes, Anthony has no credibility. Well, when it comes to broadcasting, he actually has a lot more credibility than a lot of people. He was fired from SiriusXM and decided to start his own network that's been going on for close to 10 years now, where Opie got a job with Westwood One and now has this sad show on YouTube. Listen, I like the vegetable show too. Don't get me wrong. You know, Cardiff and friends are definitely making it more interesting, but Opie should not be talking about anyone's credibility. That's not the right thing to be discussing on this. And then Mr. Doesn't Click on Anything is going to tell you exactly how much responsibility Anthony takes for what's going on in everyone's lives.
It's nuts. Anthony Cumia hasn't taken responsibility for anything. I need to take responsibility for more stuff. I understand that. But he hasn't taken responsibility for nothing. I'm a revisionist man. Am I a revisionist man? Am I?
So why does Opie think he knows anything about what anyone talks about? When he says he doesn't click, he doesn't watch, he doesn't listen, and he's like, yeah, and Anthony doesn't take responsibility. Anthony takes a ton of responsibility. He knows what he did.
Okay, Opie's a fucking idiot. We got it. Opie's a fucking idiot. You got me to say it. Opie's a fucking idiot.
Because Kevin, you know how this is. It's fine if you want to bury your head in the sand. You can do that. But then don't pop up and be like, yeah, and you know what? That guy's an asshole. And that person said this and that guy said that. It's like, no, you don't know anything. You already just said you don't know anything. So don't act like you know shit now. You got to pick one. All right. And then it closes up here with Opie explaining that Bill doesn't owe anything to Opie and Anthony. Bill was going to get famous either way. He's a talent. He's a very talented comedian.
That guy was going to be massively famous no matter what, including, I saw this online, the Philly rant that went viral because of Opie and Anthony. That's why Bill Burr's so famous. He was going to be famous no matter what, brothers and sisters. Can I get an amen? Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
Now, I have to ask you, Kevin, I know that you're planning on having Opie on Misery Loves Company soon. If he's acting like this, if he's this animated, is this what you're hoping for, or are you going to kick him off?
Oh, no, of course. I always want an animated Opie. The more the piazza, the better.
He really is acting like a piazza on this.
Oh, he's a full-blown piazza.
He's got way too much self-confidence for some reason.
I think
video.
The two potatoes and the corn really helped him out.
I agree with you. In fact, I'll bring on one of those potatoes who's been waiting patiently. He was rocking out with us a little while ago, but Cardiff Electric, what's happening, buddy? Uh-oh. Does he know that he's on?
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Really jumped the shark here, haven't you?
I never know if you're paying attention or not, Cardiff.
Oh, another show with the potato. Great.
I know. Oh, no, you talk to a potato. Everyone's talking to a potato.
You talk to a potato. Everyone talks to a potato.
Now, I'm not going to play any clips of the Florida comedian, as we know that's not happening on the show. But there's some things going on that we need to address because the Florida comedian Well, he had Godfrey on his show, and they were discussing this incident. And Godfrey, who's a black comedian, said that Anthony is going to get punched out next time he goes to the cellar because he's a racist and everyone hates him and he's going to get punched out. And then Anthony came on and said, "Oh, yeah? Is that right, Godfrey?" So Anthony decided to go back to the cellar that night after he said that, and he brought a black woman as a date and walked into the cellar and hung out there and was pretty much daring Godfrey to come and fight him. And so the Florida comedian then tweeted out, for some reason, it's confirmed Anthony did not go to the Comedy Cellar last night. For some reason, this lying liar decided to lie on Twitter again and go, "Oh, Anthony didn't even go to this thing." And so Anthony's like, why would you say that? That's so stupid. So that's kind of where we pick things up here on the Anthony Cumia show from yesterday.
I think I make up a story because I just told, I gave a pretty accurate description of what happened last night. Everything that transpired from the time we went into the cellar to when we left. And it wasn't one of these insane Chad Zumach stories. So then Noam got up and he took a swing at me with a trombone from, the band. And it went, "Mom," and I was like, "Holy shit. Let me see that. That's a good little riff." And I went, "Ba-da-da-ba," and before you know it, I was in the band. The end. Chad Zumach. You douche sack. He's so fucking dumb. And I hate talking about him. I really do, because it gives him viewers. Because people will then go, "Oh, what's Chad going to say about this?" And I think that's a big motivator for him. But look, I said it yesterday. He should be down on his knees, blowing all of us, me, Carl. Who else does that? Even the Misery Loves Company guys.
The potato. Let's not forget the potato there. And the list of people to blow. But I think, Kevin, you get brought up here. That's good. I agree.
All the people, Shuli, all the people that rag on him, Levy, he should be called every day. Guys, thank you so fucking much. I had no one watching my show. No one. My Patreon was like nothing. And then you start talking about me, you goof on me, I start talking about it, and all of a sudden, do you really think suddenly you got funny, Chad?
See, this is actually a very good observation. This was really the whole point of the Tampa Accord, was to see what would happen, because it's not like the Florida comedian is all of a sudden a comedian.
Yes, now, although you're not technically violating the Tampa Accord, it's definitely not within the spirit of the agreement playing this clip, but please continue.
All right, fair enough.
Do you really think that? That somehow, in the course of a few months, you found your chops, you found your comedy fucking zone? Or people want to hear your stupid fucking reply to everyone shitting on you? And that's fine, too. I don't care how a man makes his money. But let's be honest here, Chad Zumach. It ain't your hilarity that's making people tune in. Same thing with Stuttering John. He had nobody watching him. And then, of course, Carl, with Who Are These Podcasts, starts talking about him. And he started building a good audience because people just wanted to hear the next stupid thing he'd say that is going to make Who Are These Podcasts show.
He's making a lot of good points here, Potato. You have to understand. I think even Kevin's agreeing with Anthony, even though he's not a fan of his anymore.
He did forget about Mersh.
Right.
Yes.
The Stuttering John thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. You'd listen to John and go, "Oh, God, they are absolutely going to rip this apart." And then you watch Who Are These Podcasts and go, "Oh, yeah, cool. That part I knew they'd talk about, they're talking about it. This is great." So, it builds an audience for the poor fucks. And Chad's right in that zone, but he'll never admit it, but he knows it. If you're smart enough to actually be able to walk, maybe communicate through some lies, you're smart enough to realize why people are paying attention to you. And now, when you watch his little thing spike up, his little internet traffic thing spike up, you'll see that it was because of this and the Godfrey thing and me going to the cellar and me offering you without any fucking hook, $10,000. I'm offering Chad Zumock $10,000 to prove I was not at the cellar last night. 10 grand. And I am deadly serious about this. You give me proof. Show me fucking proof. And I will hand you 10 grand. Tax-free. How about that? There you go. There, you're in. I'll even pay the taxes on it. I'll pay the fucking taxes on your $10,000 gift if you prove I wasn't at the cellar last night. Go.
I think Anthony was at the cellar. I think Chad was wrong about. The Florida comedian was wrong about that.
How exactly was that transformative content that you just played?
It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to play the Anthony show out
Oh,
here.
okay. Just
He's
checking.
making a lot of good points.
Cardiff, you missed the part where Anthony mentioned many times how good Howard these podcasts are and how much Carl is doing God's work. That outweighs the Tampa Accords. Praise from a radio legend is much more important than the Florida comedian.
Yeah, thank you, Christian. This potato gets on him with Opie twice a week, and now he thinks he's the king of showbiz over here. Thinks he knows how all this stuff works. By the way, Kevin Brennan, some people in the Discord don't believe I have the real Kevin Brennan on because you're not interrupting to read super chats.
Well, you don't have any super chats. Where are all your super chats? Why do you do this?
That is the problem right there. That's why it might not even seem like it's the real Kevin Brennan because you're not used to him not interrupting with super chats. So
Yatsas.
All right. So this is funny because obviously that was more focused on the Florida comedian, but now we're going to bring this back around to Opie because Opie is the exact same guy. Like he needs shit like this to happen for anyone to pay attention to what Opie has to say.
Yeah, the Opester, Opie's got to do what he's got to do. And let me tell you, he's just like fucking Zumock and Stuttering John. Opie's in the same fucking category. He's rich, but he's in the same category of, he smells something and goes, oh, this could get me viewers. And if it involves me or Jimmy or something else, but if it involves me and Jimmy and like Bill Burr and shit, he's creaming himself wanting to talk about it because he knows, again, it's going to get views and it's going to, boost his
You wouldn't
audience.
think he was rich the way he talks in the mornings. He's begging for dollars, begging for stars.
I just got $5. You sent me $5. Thank you.
I like Opie, though. He's entertaining.
All right. And I saw the other day when Cardiff was on, because that's must-see TV right there, Cardiff and Opie. Someone donated $20, and Opie lost his fucking mind. Cardiff had to get the guitar out. They had to dance for a while.
It was a big moment.
Yeah, it was big bucks. Big bucks coming in.
I'd like to ask everybody to tune in this Friday to the Opie show for Thursdays with Cardiff returning this Friday. I promised him over 200 people in the chat, so
Cardiff,
please help
can
us
I just give you a little piece of advice?
No.
Okay. Why are you calling it Thursdays with Cardiff and it's on Friday mornings? This is very confusing for people. They're not going to know when to tune in. Just make it more easy.
Like what?
Fridays. Friday mornings with Cardiff.
Is that a little too on the nose?
Yes, it's supposed to be on the nose. Jesus.
You're in marketing, aren't you?
Yes, I used to be in marketing.
I'll take that under advisement.
Maybe you should get a trans person to be your spokesperson on there. Maybe that would help you. Get a lot of buzz that way. That's what a lot of marketing professionals are doing these days. Get a bunch of piazzas promoting your product.
Piazzas.
All right, so now Kurt Metzger joins the show. Kurt Metzger is the guest in the second hour of the Anthony Cumia show. And listen, this conversation has moved on. We've moved on from this. We're not talking about it anymore, except for a caller calls in as Kurt is waiting to go on. and tries to catch Anthony with a legal issue here, because if Anthony was just at the Olive Tree, which is the restaurant upstairs in the cellar, then he wasn't technically in the cellar, which means he would owe the Florida comedian $10,000 plus whatever the tax liability is for that. And so that's a whole conversation. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is Kurt Metzger, who I love. I'm a huge fan of his. He's on Jimmy Dore. He's been on a ton of things. He was on with Dick recently. He's never heard of the Florida comedian, lo and behold.
Googling Chad Zumach.
I didn't know there's the Zumach case you cracked just now.
That was huge. Well, Chad doesn't think I was at the cellar last night because he didn't think I had the balls to go down there because Godfrey had said he was going to punch me next time he sees me at the cellar.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. So I went down there last night. I went down there.
All right. So then it goes on to talk about this threat from Godfrey, and Kurt is like just coming into this cold. He's going, I don't understand what any of this is or what you're talking about.
But and then me and Bill Burr have kind of a beef and whatever. And I don't even care about that. Club Soda Kenny, But Godfrey wanted to inject himself into this somehow by using the race card and saying that, I'm a racist and that's why Bill doesn't like me. And so he's trying all this shit. And then he said if he ever sees me down at the cellar, this was yesterday, he goes, he's going to kick my ass. Well, then a few hours after I heard that, I was at the cellar. I went to the cellar with a black chick, because...
wait, but how does Chad Zumach fit into this?
Exactly. Chad wants to be relevant so bad, and he's kind of this, he considers himself a comic.
I looked him up. I just looked him up because I was just like, I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, you don't know who it is. You'll never know Chad Zumach's
Can you pause it right there for a second,
His face
Carl?
looks vaguely...
Yeah.
He doesn't know who that is?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Kurt Metzger has been on Compound Media with Chad Zumach.
That's the kind of impact he made on him.
April 11th, 2017, on the Anthony Cumia Show.
That's hilarious.
They were both together.
He goes, he looks
on this
vaguely
show.
familiar. Well, in Kurt's defense, Chad's put on a lot of weight since then. So if he's Googling recent pictures, I could see why that'd be a hard time.
Who it is. You'll never know Chad Zumach's name.
His face looks vaguely familiar, so he might be like red eye or something.
I don't know. You ever see a boxer's ass? That's probably what you that's the dog, not the athlete, not the sportsman. Yeah. I assume you didn't see a boxer's ass, but everyone's seen a boxer's ass. I get it. So he's just trying to, again, inject himself in. He gets views. He gets Patreon followers when he discusses me and shit that's going on with various comedians and whatnot. And then Godfrey was doing Chad's podcast. I don't know why. Again, it's even too low for fucking Godfrey to be on, and that's where the threat came in. So I figured I was going out with an old intern of us, Francine, who used to be at NEW with me, and I had this plan for a few days already. She goes, "Oh, I'm in town," so I'm like, "Yeah, let me go down to the Comedy Cellar." She was born in Rwanda. She's a Tutsi.
All right. So that's the latest that's going on here, and all this controversy around Anthony and Bill and the Comedy Store and Opie and Godfrey and a bunch of piazzas.
What is Cardiff's punishment for saying the name of the Florida comedian a moment ago? I didn't want to interrupt the flow, but does he have to get carted off to the Hague or something? I mean, he has to answer for these war crimes.
Yeah,
Listen,
we'll determine that.
I've been punished enough for being the face of this.
I think that's about right.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like what I said to Gino, where I'm like, don't press charges. I mean, the damage has already been done, It's fine. What else can he do to this potato? He's gone through enough. One more quick clip, because Opie had the guy, Dabbler's Unanimous. You guys know who that is?
Doing a show with him tomorrow.
You're doing a show with him, Cardiff?
Yes.
Of course you are.
Discussing Van Halen 3.
What do you think about him?
Well, the
Captain
Gary
Brown?
Sharon record? I'll be there for that, Cardiff. I love that.
Yeah, what a great topic. What do you think about Dabbler's Unanimous, Kevin? Did you know about him?
I said he's a fucking hack.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is funny because Opie has him on, and Opie admits that he's not doing a great show right now, and that it could be a lot better.
That
Give
when
me
I found out.
Sorry, give me some insight on this whole world, because it's frustrating. Because like, I've had an amazing career. I'm going to be a little cocky right now. I've seen the world through my radio shows over the years.
Mhm.
Now I'm doing this and just having fun. I know I could develop something way better than this, but I don't know if I want to. And then I have these shows like yours, Christopher, who haven't done anything in their lives, taking shots at me.
I understand. I understand that totally.
So Opie's trying to say that we can't goof on him because he's had more success in radio than we have. So that would mean there's only a few people in the world that could possibly goof on, like Rush Limbaugh, Howard Stern. I might throw Artie Lang in there. The very few people are allowed to goof on Opie just because of the career that he had. And of course, Dabbler's unanimous on here. He's just like, oh yeah, I know, you're right. Ooh, my bad. Kind of puss it out there a little bit. I don't know if you guys picked up on that.
That's why Cardiff shouldn't talk bad about Van Halen 3, because Van Halen 2 was so good.
Van Halen 2 is phenomenal.
Exactly.
And I got to see Van Halen live when Gary Sharon, they were touring for the Van Halen 3 album with Gary Sharon. And I won tickets to like go to the sound check and everything. And a little disappointed. A little disappointed in that show. I mean, I'm more of a David Lee Roth era Van Halen fan. Not a lot of that going on at that show.
Yeah, I understand there were plenty of tickets available. For
I know.
that tour.
When I say one ticket, it's like the radio station's just like, here,
Yeah.
take these. No one else wants them. All right. That's enough on all of this drama for this week. We have important things to do, like catch aliens. And Hannah is here. And if Hannah is ready, oh boy, Hannah's coming in from her beautiful living room.
Oh, wait. God, hold on. I don't even know how that happened. That's not
You
my.
weren't trying to do that?
No.
You're a fucking idiot.
She doesn't even know what room she's in.
I know. It's
Can
been
I
a
just-
long day.
Can I just say this episode of To Catch an Alien is dedicated to my half brother, whose birthday it is today. I want to wish
right.
my half brother Grant, a happy birthday.
Christ. Okay. You're the worst person. It is my brother's birthday today.
Ooh.
Just so you guys know. I think that's what the potato's referring to. Yeah, it is a little awkward. I didn't know that we were half siblings.
It's time for everyone's favorite game show, To Catch an Alien. Are you ready to play To Catch an Alien? Christian?
That's me.
Who I've never heard of before?
Hey.
How would you possibly change China? Because, like you said, you're not the first person that I've heard this from. You know, say Rob makes $1 million a year, and I go to Rob, and I know he can't afford this. Rob says, "I need $50 million." Sure, here's $50 million, no interest.
Oh, thanks, Tommy.
Interest free. Interest free.
Thank you.
But I know now that Rob owes me now that $50 million, and for the rest of his life, I'm gonna have him do. Oh, Rob, don't say Tommy in a bad way. Oh, Rob, don't compete with me.
You gotta find me first. I'm heading to Costa Rica.
But that's what you're saying China's doing with not just the U.S. They're doing this with multiple countries to then have such power over them. What's your thoughts on the whole China and Taiwan thing? I mean, do you think anything will happen with that at all? Everybody acts like, well, they're waiting to see what Russia and Ukraine are going to do. Russia and Ukraine have been going at this forever. I mean, they were the Soviet Union. I mean, why we're even involved in this other than...
Okay.
What did Tommy say next? Here are your choices. Number 1, money laundry. B, Putin wants a lake house in Ukraine. Next, cobalt mines for the batteries. 4, Crimea Is that how you say it? Lastly, Hunter Biden and his laptop to catch an alien.
Now, what's great about this game is that all of those should be wildly incorrect. But we know that just about all of them are possible. And there's maybe one exception in there that I don't think is possible, but what do I know? So I always go first in this game. Producer Chris isn't here to write this shit down, so everyone remember what their response was, because I won't.
I would love to hear at the end which one you think is impossible.
I will. Okay, I will tell you which one I think is impossible. I'm going to go with number 4, Crimenia. Is that how you say it? I think is where he's going with this. Christian, what do you think, buddy?
I'm going with Cobalt Mines.
Okay, I like that one. Kevin Brennan, you ever play games on shows before? You must love this.
No, games are fucking stupid. But I think the metrosexual Ray DeVito said number 1, money laundry, because he's a fucking idiot.
Okay, that's a good answer. Hannah, what do you think?
I think it's Cobalt Mines.
Okay. So is that 2 Cobalt Mines?
Yes, 2 for Cobalt Mines. Carl with Crimenia, and Kevin Brennan hack for number 1, money laundry.
All right, let's find out.
So wait, which one did you think it was the impossible one?
Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's
that was the one that
impossible,
like
but
that's
Hunter Biden.
even
Yeah.
too dumb for Tommy. But
Yeah.
who knows? This guy's pretty.
Let's
stupid.
watch.
Tommy's a fucking idiot.
He's a fucking idiot.
Everybody acts like, well, they're waiting to see what Russia and Ukraine are going to do. Russia and Ukraine have been going at this forever. I mean, they were the Soviet Union. I mean, why we're even involved in this other than money laundering? I don't know.
Oh,
I'm a fucking winner.
Yeah, money laundry. Ray DeVito said that. Ray DeVito gave me that
Metrosexual
answer.
Ray DeVito. Nice job.
There's something to the rookie. The
Yep.
rookie playing this game.
You're right. It's the way it's been playing out lately. Lucy type box got it last time. Hannah won on her first try. She's done nothing since. She's just
Yeah, I
embarrassed
felt good
herself.
about my choice, and then Hannah seconded my guess, so I was like, all right, I won't be
You're like,
winning
that can't
today.
be right.
I guess.
As long as the
What do you
potato
see
didn't
right
win,
now?
I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Kevin. See, Kevin and I agree that the potato is too much with this potato. That's why he's on the show right now.
Kevin's more of a corn diff guy, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
They're all hacks.
Tron, what do
Except for
you
the
see
other
happening
potato.
with that?
That's all for this time. Come back next time to find out if you have to catch
That seemed
an
racist.
alien. Did. I don't know why you put that in there.
Brought to you by Subreddit Surfing, Mondays at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Subscribe today.
All right. Another fantastic game of To Catch an Alien, and Kevin Brennan wins that round. Congratulations, guys. What have we done today? We've done it all. I'm going to tell you right now, we checked out Hey Riddle. Lots of improv and singing and drops and sound effects. I'm still laughing. What a fun show.
Can I ask that everyone tweets to Kevin Brennan congratulating him on winning To Catch an Alien on WATP?
Yeah, you should.
Because I think
Not a
he
bad
will
idea.
enjoy that.
Not a bad
At
idea.
MLC podcast.
Ski Mask Collective made Cringe of the Week because of Stevie Lou. We had a couple song parodies from Ian Daniel, Mr. Magenta. Opie going hard at Jim Norton for some reason. Still doesn't make sense to me, but apparently Jim's the bad guy when Bill Burr doesn't want to talk to Anthony. So go figure how that works. Obviously, we caught an alien. So you know what that means? Time for everyone's favorite part of the show.
The teaser. Next week's teaser.
This is the part of the show we play a clip from the podcast that we'll be reviewing on the next episode of Who Are These Podcasts, which is happening this weekend. We are just 10 days out from the live show in Philly, and I'm happy to say that Dick Masterson will be joining me on the show this weekend coming up. to get ready for our live show together, and this is the show that we'll be reviewing.
Welcome to Maintenance Phase, the podcast that doesn't talk about myths when we talk about fat.
Okay.
I'm trying to blend your first book and your second book.
My
I don't
two
know if I got there.
mouthfuls of titles.
19, when we myth about fat.
I'm Aubrey Gordon.
I'm Michael Hobbs.
Maintenance Phase, a suggestion from Daniel Ogburn, and that should be a lot of fun for us to check out with Dick Masterson coming up. I want to thank you, Christian Bladt. You brought a lot of clips today.
There were so many puzzies and so many riddies.
Yep, you couldn't help yourself.
Nope.
But you did find a winner of a show to review. I'm glad we didn't do the D&D show because I just can't take the dice rolling anymore.
Well, you know what? The fact that producer Chris wasn't here makes me glad that we didn't do the D&D show, because then he would have missed it. So maybe the next time I'm on, we can all
how much
sit
he
back
loves
and
that.
enjoy some
Yeah.
D&D. Yeah.
He's probably playing Magic the Gathering with his friends right now. If I know producer Chris, probably what he's up to. Kevin, Christian, I'm sorry, we're not done talking to you. People should check out the Blattcast. Where can they find that?
You can find it wherever you find podcasts, Blackcast, BLADTCAST, and you can find our YouTube channel. We have been celebrating 10 years for the whole 10 years, but you can find an episode with Dana Carvey, another with John Lovitz, and one with Carl. And believe it or not, Cardiff was on my show once, but I don't think he remembers. He must have really been drinking a lot. And earlier today, I recorded the first ever appearance of yours truly on Would You Kindly with E-Rock and Brian Johnson. We were supposed to talk about David Letterman, and instead we talked about Married with Children, Little House on the Prairie, and the Bike Shop episode of Different Strokes. So please tune in for that later in the week.
The Bike Shop episode.
It's the best one. I could never watch WKRP in Cincinnati after that episode.
Yes. All right. So, yes, people should definitely check out the Blattcast. Thank you, Christian. You're always fantastic. Kevin Brennan hopped on today. Kevin, you're on Misery Loves Company. Do you want to promote anyone else's shows while you're here?
Yeah, I want to promote at Opie Radio.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
At
I
Opie
thought
Radio.
maybe-
Gives a shit
who gives a fuck.
I thought maybe you'd have another show that you wanted to promote while you're here.
Oh, yeah, and at MLC Podcast.
Okay, that's right. I gave 2 chances at it.
Try to
Thanks,
give him a
Kevin.
real plug. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate that.
You're a fucking idiot.
I might be. That could be true. All right, we're going to hear some voicemails and probably read some reviews in a minute, so everyone's allowed to hang out for that. Or if you have better things to do, that's cool too. But I do want to say, please, join us again next time, because it might be the episode where we find out once and for all, who are these podcasts? Sleep well, every pony.
Farting in the mush pits of morning radio.
Okay. Great show. Good job, everybody. Great job, everyone.
Let's get right into reviews. Hannah, what are we doing today? Are we reading more reviews of people who didn't enjoy the nudes that are up on our Patreon and Supercast?
No, I was trying to. Can we do voicemails first? I have some yelling to stop.
Shut that fucking dog up.
I'm trying.
It's too bad you should do a
I didn't
Florida
really
comedian
get it.
impression, because he's the one who complains about the dog barking.
Carl, I'd like to start the voicemail segment in a truly terrible way. Can you play my clip 48 from like 2 hours ago?
Yes,
Because
that's
they
right,
have
you
a
mentioned
voicemail
this.
song. They have a voicemail song, and I wanted to save it for your voicemail segment.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for reminding me.
Voicemail who play, voicemail who play, voicemail who play with me, babe. Voicemail who play, voicemail who play, voicemail who play with me.
What's with the mix? I don't understand. If
mix.
you're going to do a parody, the vocals have to be high in the mix so I can make out what the fucking person's saying. Even the original, the vocals are way higher in the mix on that song.
Yeah, no, that was no Tommy Shaw in there.
Not good. All right,
Some,
let's hit
some great
voicemails.
guitar work.
I should not have apologized for the Tampa Accord, according to this voicemailer, who I'm just going to warn people loves the F slur. This one. Big fan of it.
Dude, why are you apologizing for the fucking stupid little Tampa Accord? It was obviously a fucking bit. I so help me God, anybody who got upset and emotional over the Tampa Accord is a fucking faggot and should end their life. I mean, what kind of a fucking faggot loser piece of shit do you gotta be? Kyle did the Tampa Accord. That's it. Go fuck yourself, you fucking faggot. All right. Go fuck yourself.
There are some threads on Reddit that I'd love for you to get involved with, sir. Seems like you have some fun opinions on that. By the way, someone in the Discord is saying that the Rabbi, which is Dabbler's Unanimous, is on with Opie live right now. Uh-oh, Cardiff. Uh-oh. Opie's got a new guitar playing friend over there.
It's okay. I offer things that the Rabbi can't.
That's true.
Bacon.
Shellfish. All right.
How silly of me, Carl. I'll sing that part for you. Can you put the track on for me? I'll give you a second to listen. What was that? All right. Was that better than Magic Michael? Okay, go fuck yourself.
All right. No more chord karaoke on the voicemail, please. I'm going to put a moratorium on that. Do we have to sign papers for that, or can I just announce it?
Yes.
Cardiff's already organizing. He's already sending off emails to people. All right. Let's talk about the Creep Off website, which has been down for, I think, over a month now.
Hey, Carl. Long time, first time. What the fuck's going on with the Creep Off website? How come you haven't addressed this on the show yet, that your website's been down for what's that, 3 months now? And it's just unavailable, the creepoff.com? What happened to that? Do you plan on talking about this on this show? Because I can't fucking find the Creep Off to hear what you're talking about over there. It's gone off the internet. What am I going to do, listen on Patreon? Go fuck yourself. Call me back.
Okay, so this person doesn't realize that the Creep Off is available on YouTube and wherever you get podcasts. So the website is down, that's true. We were originally told it was hacked, but I think the hosting company just fucked up. And so that's been down. We got to figure that out. But the Creep Off has not gone away. The Creep Off is still going strong. Wherever you get podcasts, subscribe to the Creep Off. You can also watch us live on YouTube on the Creep Off channel on YouTube every Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube / I don't know, at the Creep Off, something like that. You'll find it. You'll find it if you look. Hey, guys, Scott Stapp called into the show. This is exciting. Anyone here a Creed fan? Kevin Brennan, you a Creed fan?
Arms wide open.
Creed fucking sucks.
Yeah, they do. I agree.
He's more of an Alter Bridge guy.
Hey, Carl, this is Scott Stapp. I heard your last episode, and how's that guy going to prepare to burn Murray without even trying to do the voice? I mean, it's not that hard. Fucking retards. Anyway, congrats on 400 episodes. Coming back.
What a terrible impression, but I still enjoyed it for some reason. So I'll give him credit for it. All right, this one's mean.
Carl, it's Man of Matt. Just listening to the latest episode. You wanted to get rid of that ticket to Philly. I got an idea. Maybe get some contestants to figure out how many of those fucked up fuck teeth are in your face. Call me back.
All of them.
Guess how many teeth are in my face I want to take into the show? It's a very mean cut. I feel like that was mean-spirited.
The internet's fucking mean.
Yeah, these voicemailers.
It's unnecessary.
All right, Nate from Flint has a question for us.
Oh my God, Carl, Nate from Flint, Michigan. Tell me there will be a Tickle Fights with Chris component 2 Saturdays from now in Philadelphia. Cardiff will work in a pinch, but something about that vaguely Croatian marsupial face of Chris gets a guy questioning a few things. Call me back.
All right, Nate wants to have a tickle fight with Chris. I'm sure we can arrange that.
The vaguely Croatian face. That's a very good description.
Hannah is being mauled by her dog right now.
Always. They're wild because they've been cooped up.
Eat these dogs? Doesn't look like you do.
If Chris doesn't want a tickle fight, he should say so right now.
That's right, Chris. All right, sounds like he wants it.
All right, he's in.
Done and done. All right.
Hey, Carl. I think we're really in the golden age of WATP right now. You know, the last few episodes since the Jacked Up review show gets me every time. And Ash on the Fat Lips, he's brought in every sense of the words. Can't stop laughing at it. It's so funny. And Stut Joe and Opie, they've been getting more insane by the minute, and it's great for this show. I love it. And it doesn't even stop there. You know, the voicemail segment got all-star review girls, Cardiff and Casey, and you know, Vic's always there to fill in when you need her too, and can't complain about that. The Stuttering John Song contest, that was really something, and can't wait to see what the Opie contest brings. The first 300 episodes of the show, they were really something. Can't wait to see what the next 100 bring. All right, peace out.
I think this person is trying to say that we used to be doing better than we're doing now. If I were to try to translate that. How dare you?
Yes,
sir?
that's correct. I believe.
How dare you?
That was my intent.
Okay. And you know what's funny is my first thought was like Cardiff wants to take credit for everything, but it probably was Cardiff. He's fucking everywhere all the time. Why would I even question that for a second?
Thank you.
All right. Kevin, you have Cardiff on your show ever again?
Card's a fucking idiot.
All right. That sounds like a no. All right.
Cards, man, and Matt. I'm going to give this a whirl. Blinded by the cards, revved up like a douche, another gym locker to break in. Blinded by the cards, the potential for cash always rules me right back in. Blinded by the cards, fucking LA Fitness has so many nice lockers. Yeah, fuck the Z-Man. Over it. See ya.
All right. We don't talk about that anymore on the show. As everybody knows, we're abiding by that. Hey, Blinded by the Light. Does anyone know what band sang that song? I'll look to you first, Christian.
Manfred Mann.
That's right. Manfred Mann's Earth Band.
Yeah, sorry.
Did you know
I
that?
left out the Earth Band part.
I thought it was Foghat.
I thought it was Jethro Tull.
You ever see Jethro Tull? They got a real piazza who plays flute in that band.
I used to love the flute. Fantastic.
I didn't know that about you. Okay, that's different. All right. Oh, apparently, Stuttering John's not the only one who says laughing his ass off a lot.
Hey, Carl, dumbass. Hey, just so you know, I know that you and your little buddies like to make fun of John for saying we laughed our asses off. We laughed our asses off. You know who else says that all the time? Kumia says it all the time. He says it every show. It's not funny for either of them.
And you know what that just reminded me of? Somebody put together a compilation. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's for WATS. But apparently I have a crutch I was not aware of out here. Holy shit. What is going on? Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit, right? Like, holy shit. Holy shit. All right, so apparently I say holy shit a lot. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't know why I brought it up. There is, we did play the supercut from Stuttering John's book on the bonus show. 27 times he talked about people laughing their asses off. And we played every instant of it because everyone needs to hear that. Jeff from Buffalo, I think Andy asked, like, if you're a Bert Kreischer fan, can you call in and explain this to us? Because we can't figure it out.
Hey, Carl. This is Jeff from Buffalo. You wanted us to weigh in on why people like the Bert podcast. First of all, Tom always makes it funny. Second of all, I think the reason that we as in people that actually listen to Bert, like him is just because he's a likable person, and no matter what stupid shit he says, we're gonna laugh at it because he's just like a likable dude. He's someone that you'd want to hang out with because you know it'd be a good time. Maybe everything, all his jokes aren't all that funny, but because he's such a likable dude, I think that's why we listen. I mean, let's be real. Tom is the one with all the jokes. So with that, I weigh in on the debate, and fuck you, Carl. Call me back.
We used a lot of words to explain that you find him likable. We get it. Thank you.
Can he call in for Saturday and tell us why he listens to this show?
Yeah, I know who's likable on this show other than Cardiff. I'd love to know. Speaking of unlikable, Hannah, do you have some reviews? That you
I
wanna
sure
read
do.
For us?
Yes.
What are we doing? Are we reading WATP reviews or what are we doing?
WATP reviews.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. This is from Wire Transfer. Yuppie nerd bullies washed up boomers.
Is that the subject line or the whole thing?
That's the whole thing. It's
I'm going to
no
guess that's a
punctuation.
5-star. That's
Yeah,
a 5-star review. Yes.
It is.
Thank you very much for that.
Yes. The next one is from MMKG. Drunk dude bros will love this.
That is our target. That is our target audience. Unlike Bud Light, we embrace the drunk frat bros out there. Is that a 5-star review?
It's a 1-star review.
What?
They were not kidding. Okay, I've got one more. This is from Dr. Tank Pro Bat.
Hold on. Before you read that, Hannah, Christian, do you have a bell that you want to hit too? Does everyone have a fucking bell? Everyone's got a fucking bell. What am I doing? I don't have a bell. All right. I guess I got to get a bell.
All right.
Or a dog that jumps on me.
Yeah.
You're
Usually
in a
that's
different room
Chris.
every time, Hannah. How big is your house? It's like you live in a mansion.
No, it's not a big house. I just never go in any other room except that office until now.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Tank Pro Bat. Typical alt-right podcast spewing hate on other, more successful podcasts. Almost everything is clipped out of context, and the two hosts don't understand the first thing about the podcast they are reviewing. Don't support these guys. Let them wither in the dark instead, together with their extremist views and listeners.
I want that to be the new description of the show. I'm going to put that on our website. That nailed it. That sums it up perfectly. That almost sounded angry enough to be a 1-star, Hannah.
5 stars.
Yeah. All right. See, you threw me off with that second one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very good. I appreciate that. All right. That's all I got for today. Anything else any more clips from the board there, Christian?
Oh, I've got 50 more clips from Hey Riddle. So buckle yourselves in.
Here we go. Part 2. Going into overtime. All right. Thank you so much, Christian. Always good to talk to you, buddy.
Always happy to be on. Lovely to see everyone. And nice to meet you, Cardiff.
Yeah, same here. Actually, wasn't that nice?
Oh.
And B Dabbler, El Horrible, B Brennan. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Thank you, Carl.
Oh, we got to hear the other fake voice that he does.
All of them.
And Hannah, always good to see you. Thanks for rushing home to be on the show today.
Good to see you guys.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Okay, folks.
Guess what?
This
The
is
episode's over.
That was a great episode. That was really great.
Okay, bye.
Go fuck yourselves. Have a good week.
What's with the dancing around the shit? I stink. You hate me. Great. Goodbye.
I gotta go. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
This is it. It's over. Okay? Goodbye. Goodbye. Hey, bye. Goodbye.
Jesus, I gotta go. This is getting stupid. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
I don't know why that cracks me up every time.
You're an idiot.
Suck enough of this. Because I'm a fucking idiot.
He's a fucking idiot.